Okay, it's just continuing.
Oh.
Okay,
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
everybody.
Hi, Ashley.
Oh, Ashley's already there. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I think we got ourselves a fan.
yeah. I'm so lucky to have Ashley.
Yeah,
Um,
she is.
Ashley said that she would be a bit busy today, and actually, one thing for you guys to know is up here in Canada today is a holiday for us. So I think we'll have a lot of people tuning in. But also, I don't know how it will work because there's a lot of people out of town for the long weekend as well. So
That is true.
we- uh,
For us, it's also a national holiday today.
okay,
Oh, as well. Okay. What day
Mhm.
is today? What are you celebrating?
well, yeah. What are you celebrating now?
For us, it's a religious holiday. It's the Ascension holiday.
Oh,
Okay. And for us, it's Queen Victoria's birthday, the 24th
Mhm.
of May weekend is what we call it. So the closest weekend prior to May 24th is the weekend that we consider to be the long weekend. So,
mm.
yeah, we still celebrate Queen Victoria. Happy to have a day off. And
And white bridal dresses as well, because she was the one who implemented
Mhm.
them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, everybody dresses in white. Well, women, when they get married, because of Queen Victoria, it was
Yeah,
fashion
that's true.
statement. It has nothing to do with purity or anything like that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just one
Mm-hmm.
second. I'm going to plug my screen.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And we just have a couple comments coming in through text from a couple of our people, but okay, I can wait till afterwards.
So maybe more people today will see the rerun. It's so cool
Mm-hmm.
because I saw that last session was like about 40 or something, 30 to 40 views extra with the rerun. So
Oh,
it's
cool.
really good to know that people are seeing this in another time of
Mm-hmm.
the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know for a lot of my clients, I have a little sign in my office now, and so everyone knows they can go to, excuse me, they can go to my Newfound Reads channel now and check it all out.
That's
And
amazing.
Mhm.
um, I think I might need a better system just to remind people every Monday to, because right now I'm copying and pasting, I'm emailing as many people as I possibly can. So I need
Mm.
to come up with a better system so people can see things or see the link and have more time to think about it, I think. But anyway, these are
Yeah.
how's
Maybe we can help you get to make a WhatsApp channel, a just news channel. So you just give the information, and
mhm,
Mhm.
an email list could be something
mhm.
helpful.
Yeah,
So
actually, email is the best option, I think. But
Yeah.
you have to do it in a distribution list, so you don't have to copy one by one. Just add the people to the distribution list and just send it to the list.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
I don't even know what a distribution list is, but I will
Don't
figure
worry,
it
we can help you, my friend. Don't worry.
out. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
We got your back.
Yeah. Oh, you have the Lele doll and your torta pin. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so wonderful. Look at that. That's a torta pin.
Yeah. Yeah.
With tortas.
Torta de jamón.
No, jamon, no, jamon. It's for that's Chespirito. No,
I
well,
know.
you do have torta de jamon, but it's we have tortas of almost everything. It can be
Oh, I see.
something very very spicy and complex, or it can be tamales. For example, you can put a tamal in a bread like that.
Mhm.
The bolillo, it's a torta de tamal. It's called guajolota.
Uh-huh.
Or you
Oh.
can have tortas like paninis with salami and everything.
Mhm.
So European or Italian, whatever. Uh,
Mhm.
it's a torta as well.
Okay, so
So
the only one I know is torta de jamón, and I know
I,
it's because of that show. But now I know there are more, and one day I will eat them all.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you. Yes, yes, Chespirito. Yes, he made such a good point about promotion in our culture, but just some parts of our culture that are not so
Hmm.
crispy. Yes, torta is so important here in Mexico. It's what people eat when they don't have time, or when it's our lunch. So it's like bento for Japanese people.
Hmm.
Mhm.
That's torta for Mexican people.
It's like a sandwich, right?
It's
In
a
in
sandwich
essence. Mm.
made of two types of special bread, bolillo or telera. So they are very special types of bread for torta. If not, you have a panini or a baguette or a
Okay.
croissant or anything like that.
Okay. Well, I have so much to look forward to when I go to Mexico. I plan on eating everything.
Yeah, but we will have to cook it ourselves, my friends, so you don't get ill in your belly.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I'm a little sensitive. You guys know the details. So won't put this into the live stream today.
Yes. So, well, it's wonderful to be here. If you want, my dear John, so you can give the introduction to our session.
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
session.
Sure, yeah. So, you guys, today things are, well, our discussion will be a little bit different today. Today, we're going to continue on with our discussion of the tiger and the cosmonaut, but we're just going to do things just a little bit differently. So, you guys know how we are evaluating the books behind the scenes. So, this is more than just three friends getting together. Well, it is that, but it's also a literary prize, and we want to make sure that you guys know that we're taking this very seriously. This is fun, and this is something we're doing on our spare time, but also um, we take everything in. Well, yeah, we're taking everything into consideration that we consider to be important. So we have developed, well, I should say Javi primarily.
Yep.
I was just about to take credit
Sorry, don't worry.
for too much. So Javi has developed a huge list of criteria for evaluating, but not just that, for ranking as well. So today we'll highlight the 20 different components that we consider to be important for the ranking. But not just that, we're going to give our own comments on the rankings. And yeah, from 1 to 5, we have a ranking, and we're going to give our comments on what we uh, think and how we feel about each component. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally,
that is
totally.
perfect.
And well, last time we agreed, or just for last time, not to take any spoilers to this type of sessions. But
Mm.
then we reflect upon it, and with Ashley's help, really, it was because Ashley was so enthusiastic about how we could go to these sessions talking about the books. We're going to go full disclosure now. So
Mhm.
hope that you, for the next books, you have read them entirely.
Mhm.
If not, when the spoiler time comes, then we will be telling you, okay, from here on, there goes the spoiler time. And in that part, you can not watch the show and watch it later, or you can stick around and know what's going to be around for the book to end, or the twist or anything that is going to happen. So
Mm.
it's very pretty important that you know um, this is the first of those moments with spoilers full ahead. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And just to mention one important thing, just in case someone is joining us for the first time, so we are the Fiction Finders Prize. So this means the three of us basically got together and come up with some ideas about how to celebrate and how to, I don't know, maybe find the better fiction we can and share it with all of you. So that is
Mhm.
why we had this list of 10 books that we'll be reading this year. The first one of those is this one from today. It's The Tiger and the Cosmonaut by Eddie Tan. And basically, we're going to be sharing with you all of our thoughts. Some people of you joining us, maybe it's the first time or don't remember about the book. So we'll have a brief discussion about what this is about, what is the author, and
Mhm.
things like that. But then we'll dive deep into the criteria and evaluation process, because at the end of this project, at the end of this year, this will be a ceremony. We are going to actually be the judges and we'll be crowning the best fiction we found this year. So that will be very exciting.
Exactly. So yeah, so we have 20 criteria to go over today, and yeah, unless you guys think that there's something else to discuss prior to, we can hop right into number one if you wish.
I would say if we can maybe discuss briefly about the book. So what the book is about and the author.
Yes, we could talk about the premise, a little about the characters and the plot, and some other extra data that maybe has the book has, and then we can go to the evaluation if you like.
Yeah, and this will be a brief recap, because last Monday, so last week, we spent like 2 hours talking about this book without spoilers, about premise, characters, settings, themes, and we also reviewed who the author is. So this will be a brief recap before we dive into the evaluation.
Yeah, perfect. So you guys, The Tiger and the Cosmonaut is about two twin boys who, at the age of 9, something awful happens. There's Sam and there's Casper. Sam and Casper, on a night that resembles a night very similar to Halloween, they're participating in this festival and they're dressed up, one as a tiger and one as a cosmonaut. And one of the two boys goes missing that night, and no one seems to know what happens to that boy. As we go through the book further into chapter 1, we find out that the boy's father, in current times, about, I'd say 20 years later, would you say? About 20 years later, the boy's father goes missing in the woods. And so the story takes off when the 3 siblings convene in Wilhelm, where they grew up, to join their mother in a search for their father. Yeah. So when they meet up, all 3 of them get together, and their father is soon found after a couple days of searching. But I'm having a hard time remembering all the details of the story now.
Don't worry, I can go.
I think I need you to hop in.
Yes, I can hop in. Well, the thing is, this is first of all a road trip. The road trip is because they have to go to this parent's house. So our main character and his boyfriend have this wonderful experience together, trying to reminisce what's happening with this life that the boyfriend really doesn't know anything about, because Sam has been so secretive about Casper, about his prior life with him. And eventually we will arrive at the house and we will see the family dynamics that are there, and this losing the twin somewhere in the past, it really has forged how this family is perceived within themselves and with the whole community of the town of Wilhelm. So basically that's the plot, and there is a thriller about what really did happen that night when the twin got lost, because we don't know if he died, if he just got lost, if he was abducted, or what really happened, because nobody tells us, as if we were the boyfriend, what really transpired that night, and eventually what happened with the family. So that's the other plot, the thriller. It's part of it. And at the end, we will have like 4, maybe 5 chapters where everything is going to be upside down and it's going to change radically, and it's going to have a solution that we weren't really expecting, and some things are going to change for real. Even the character's perception and construction is going to be modified. So that's why The Tiger and the Cosmonaut is on the title, because the main character is related intrinsically to this other character that we don't know anything about him, but what they tell us happened to him.
And I think it's important to mention and to emphasize that this family is immigrant in Canada. So they live in this fictional town of Wilhelm in British Columbia, but the parents, they migrated from China. In this case, it's from China, but we know that the author reflected a bit of his own family, who are immigrants from is it Brunei, from Brunei. So
Mhm.
it's important to note that because the premise itself goes around how these parents had to sacrifice a lot of things and all they had to face in this new society in search for a better education and better future for their kids, and how this the how society interacted with them as immigrants, how they were mistreated with violence and with disrespect, is also a very important part of this story, because it's not only the vanishing of this boy, but it's because of the society and how this was like conflicting with the immigrants. This helped actually to all these events to go further.
Mhm.
So that is also very important because it goes tied hand to hand with the author himself's life.
Mhm. Well said. We make such a good team, you guys.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, well, that's more or less the premise, a little of the characters that are there. There are secondary characters that are important for the plot. Besides the family, there are friends. There are childhood acquaintances that are not friends because they were bullies or people who were against some of the members of the family. And there are other characters that we really just see in the background, that are just part of the town, and some of them, and especially one of them, gets very, very, very important towards the end, and he seems, this character, so far away from the main plot, but in reality he's part of the most important things that happened in the past, and that
Mhm.
is affecting the present of everyone. So I think that's around characters, and I don't know, some miscellaneous things that we can say about the book is that this is written in a very interesting and also almost casual tone. It's easy to read. Uh, it's easy to relate to,
Mhm.
but eventually it gets a little complicated in the plot and in the characters development. So maybe it will at the end make this like dissonance because it's so easy going, but everything gets complicated. So that complication doesn't add to the simplicity of the syntax that
Mhm.
it has.
Mhm.
No?
Mhm.
That's one. The other thing, it's that it's not autobiography. It's not autobiographical.
Mhm.
But it has components, as Mao said, about the Chinese experience of immigrants in other parts of the world. In this part, especially Canada. This we were talking about the Chinese rage as a factor for this book. This um, idea or this paradigm that there has been abuse that has to be acquainted for, that it
Mhm.
has to be, it has to have accountability around it. Um, and well, there is a sentiment about being a Chinese immigrant in Canada or in other parts of the world, and that's the Chinese rage that we were referring last time, and it
Mhm.
shows in the work of this author. And the other part that I think it can add is the queerness of the book. It has this gay perspective that talks about being gay and having a boyfriend almost as natural as if it were really normal for society. But
Mhm.
when we arrive at Wilhelm and we start seeing the relationship that people have with this topic, then we see that it's not that normal and that there is still stigma for this type of relationships for the author in its book. No, so it's I
Mhm.
don't know if there's any other data that I said.
I would like to add to this theme about the queerness. It's because I think the fictional town Wilhelm, it's like a rural town. It's like a very small town, very confined. So it's a society in which everyone knows each other. The families know how they interact in between them, how they work, what they do. But this character Casper, who is the protagonist, he had to flee the town when he was young, and then 20 years after, he's coming back. But in this period, 20 years, when he met his boyfriend, they lived in a city. So it's a big city. They don't live in a town. So that is why in the city it's well perceived. So it's pretty much normal to have a boyfriend if you're a man, but when they return to this town, it's not as normal, but it's because of this kind of town. It's because it's a rural town, maybe too conservative, or maybe with traditional cultural aspects that conflict with they returning as a couple
Mhm.
to that place. So I think the author did a good job trying to get all these two worlds and have them collapse in Casper characters.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're kind of touching on the first component of our analysis already, so I'm just going to put that up on the screen there right now.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Oh, well said, you guys. I couldn't have said
Plot
it better.
structure. Mhm. So, should we go full spoilers going forward
And
right now?
spoiler ahead. If you haven't read the full book,
Mhm.
around chapter number 40 to 43, things are going to develop in a
Mhm.
stranger way that they have happened before.
Mhm.
And all the bigger spoilers are there, but there are minor spoilers, maybe for the first half of the second half of the book. So we will be addressing them. If you think you want to be surprised by the book, don't stay with us any longer and see the rerun, watch the rerun. If not, if you don't care and you want to know what happened with Casper and his twin and everything, well, just stick around for the next minutes.
Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead. Full spoilers.
Yeah.
So first of all, plot structure and narrative coherence. So we're not going to actually rate the book today. We're just going to give our opinion, our personal thoughts, how we experience this reading, and yeah, just discuss about those, like how we felt reading this book in this particular item. At the
Mhm.
end of this season, at the end of the year, we will actually rate with numbers, with stars, and then we'll crown the winner. But
Mhm.
just for you to know that this is actually the criteria we're going to be using also as a calculation to have the actual rating. So
Mhm.
okay, so let's start with this plot structure. So do you want to
Yeah.
start, John? What do you think about plot structure and narrative coherence?
Yeah, well, for me, well, you guys know I like the book a lot, and so for me, I was quite impressed, especially in the first maybe 75 or 80% of the book, because well, we know what the main plot is. A young boy has gone missing, and we assume, I guess, by the end of the book, we're going to find out what happened to the boy and whatnot. But there were so many subplots and so many side stories. If you look at all the side stories, the father has dementia. There's the queer love story. There's the sister Nadia, who is overpowering. There's the brother. There's the mother. There's so many flowing factors, and when you look at it all, you would say, why did the author tell the story the way that he did? And I have some comments on that, and we can touch on that through other points. But for me, I thought everything flowed so well in the beginning. I thought that the author did a great job highlighting all the subplots and making everything flow together pretty well. And so I suppose for me, actually, I have a couple notes here. Um, yeah, like for me, it kind of flowed like a movie. It kind of flowed like a TV series, and everything was coming up to this big moment at the end, and up until that, I thought the plot structure and the coherence of everything was perfect.
Mhm.
Uh, you
All
guys think?
right.
Um, um,
So let's go ahead, Javi.
okay. Well, we can go. We can do that. So,
Yeah. So let's go, John, Javi, and myself.
Hmm.
okay. So, well, for me, it was coherent. Coherent at the first three fourths. Um, it was more or less coherent. Really, the structure, I tried to decipher it as I was going. I didn't know where the story was going really, because as we thought about last time, my thoughts were, well, this is going to be about the father and his story, or whatever that has to do with him and dying, or whatever is going to happen with the father. You know?
Hmm.
So, as I am accustomed to, the gay character is going to be secondary at the end, and it's not going to be about him. But in reality, it was about the main character and his boyfriend and their relationship. At the very end, it was about that. It ends with that. It ends with a happy ending for them too, the
Mhm.
two of them. And eventually, for me, it was like a loose structure in some points, um, especially when all those dynamics that you said, John, take place in the novel, because
Hmm.
some characters are not that far developed, so they don't react properly to their own instances, and
Hmm.
then the plot suffers from it. For example, you have this guy, Ivan. For me, he never made sense. He's a character that is so important, but it really doesn't. He doesn't really have a personality developed. He could be anyone in the town. He's like the embodiment of everything that is wrong and right with the town, but he doesn't have his own voice. He's constantly changing sides and constantly changing his mind about things, and line or not line. I didn't get him. And he's so important. The other thing that I thought that the structure was lacking was this rhythm that always goes towards somewhere, and it did until the main twist where everything is discovered. For me, re- eroded totally. It dissolved what I was trying to come up with, this rhythm, with this
Mhm.
narrative that I was trying to have, and it became a fable. For me, it was like a fable at the end, and that's another type of story. That's another type of narrative. So for me, it was good, uh, beyond good, I would say, but not. It was not perfect for me. It lacked so many things, but. I don't know. We're not going to rate it, but for me, it was more than good, and that,
Hmm.
but not
Mhm.
that.
Okay.
Not perfect. Yeah.
So nice. Okay, so plot structure. So for me, at the beginning, I didn't know what to think about regarding this book's genre, because some people say it's contemporary fiction, others say it's a thriller, or it's just LGBTQ, or I don't know, something else. But since I didn't have this specific genre identified at the beginning, I didn't know what to expect. So at the beginning, it was actually interesting. It for me, it read more like a thriller,
Hmm.
because there is a missing character, there is a mystery, there's some characters that we know they know something but they don't tell us, and we have the main character who tries to figure out what is going to happen next, what
Hmm.
happened before, and how to make the pieces of the puzzle go together. So that is actually a thriller. That is actually like a mystery story.
Hmm.
But then, as we go and on in the chapters, we found out that it's more than that. We have also social commentary, we have society criticism, we have this genre and queerness, inclusion, and so everything is intertwined. So for me, the plot structure divided. It was like a split in different kinds of genres. Sometimes it was a thriller, sometimes it was a mystery, or a contemporary. Actually, I think that was working well.
Hmm.
But after the plot twist, the very big reveal about the twins, so after that moment, I lost it. So the plot structure for me was lost
Hmm.
because it was like another type of book, completely different. That it was like detective or police mystery, something like that. So for me, it was disconnected.
Hmm.
And as we discussed last week about narrative coherence, I felt that maybe this book was longer at the beginning in the first draft, and
Mm.
for some reason it was cut off. Some chapters or sections were edited, and we didn't see the full pictures. So that is why I think maybe we're missing some chapters or a section after the twist. That might be. That is why we perceive that it's a different book because we miss the link. There is no a real connection between the two sections.
Mhm.
So about coherence, maybe we lost it there. It's
Mhm.
not as coherent as it could have been, but maybe it's because the editor cut off some sections, and we don't
Mhm.
know why. Maybe they were saying something uh, too political, or maybe uh, direct criticism to society in that place. So we don't know. But for me, it was a bit disconnected about the structure and not coherent at all at the end because of that. But overall, I think the author did a good job trying to put the pieces together.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, 100%. It could have been a complete mess when you look at all of the flowing factors, but it wasn't. It was pretty coherent uh,
Hmm.
until it wasn't. Ashley is messaging in. I'm not sure why, Ashley, you're not able to type in comment.
I think I have the answer. For me, I have messages as well. It
Okay.
seems the stream is configured for children. So immediately the chat is disabled. So nobody can chat with us because of that. And maybe Ashley could do it because maybe her account is a kid's account or something like that. But nobody else can do it. It appears this message that is broadcast made for children.
Oh,
So
can we change it?
I don't
I,
Can
know.
we edit?
You can change
I
it on the fly. I don't think so.
I just
Let's
changed it
try.
that second. I just went into the YouTube
Yeah, the
Studio.
configuration.
Mhm.
configuration here, and I just changed it. No, it's not made for kids.
Okay, and you can save it. Can you save it that way?
Yep, and I just saved it, but so that is my fault.
Don't worry. It's natural to think that it's better, but it's not. It's because
Mhm.
of the censorship that kids must have from the government. So that's why they put so many blocks around children content. Uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
well,
So we can give it a try. Let's try to chat. So let's open this in YouTube and try to chat something. So let me try now.
if you
Okay.
can now, please.
All right. So
So for
I
me,
think I can. So let's type something.
It's because we don't have any comment. That's not normal.
So that
Hey,
means
there is Mao. He could do it. Excellent. So now everybody can do it. Everybody put something in your chat.
I was thinking,
okay.
what's going
That's nice. That's nice. All right. So yeah, it's okay. So everything has a solution. So it's fine.
on? Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, yeah.
And now we know we can change it on the fly. Uh,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm still so new to this, and so yeah.
You're doing it just wonderfully.
Yeah.
Thanks
Beyond
Yeah.
what was expected. So don't worry.
so
Yes,
much.
yes, yes. So, well, what about character development and transformation arc? I think this is so intimately related to the first.
Mhm.
Yeah. This is very important. So let's go, John.
Yeah. So I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is how um, the author described his own book. He said that this book was a book about Asian rage. And so when I'm thinking about the character development and his goal to make this book about Asian rage, I think he did a pretty good job. I think he did a great job, actually. So if I think about Casper, he starts off getting the information about his dad going missing, and he's reflecting on all the rage and the trauma from his past, and then moving forward, he gets to Wilhelm, and then he's having arguments with his sister. He's having arguments with his brother. So then things are slowly, progressing, and things are slowly bubbling to the surface. Then he actually, at one point in time, he sees his brother in the middle of the road destroying a car that belonged to a bully, and he joins in. So then we get more physical, and then at the very end, he gets extremely violent with the character Mike, I think it was, right?
Yep.
So I thought it was written really, really well. The slow development of how someone could express or develop their own rage. But I really didn't feel like we saw the slow development of rage with all of the other Asian characters. And so how could the author possibly do that? He was focusing on Casper, and I think he did a great job. But for me, I kind of wanted to see a little bit more from the mom. Like, she smashed the dish. So, of course, there's rage there. But I did want more. With all the other characters that were there between the sister and the brother and the dad, I thought that the character development part of me was pretty darn good for a book that was 300 pages. We did get a really good impression on of everybody, I thought. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Thank you. For me, it was one of the most difficult things to grade or to analyze, because for me, the plot suffered what the character development could achieve. So the plot is a good plot. It really tries to come up with something, but then the characters, because they are a little they're not flat, but they are not profoundly developed as in the imagination of who is writing them. So then you have these maybe a little shallow characteristics or personalities, and they are very some of the characters, for example, Nadia. I don't know why she is so extremely effective and so decisive, and she's just like a superwoman, but nobody ever wanted that from her in her family. There is nothing in the structure of any character that goes towards her developing that way. So I know, I get why the twins are like they are, and why the bigger brother, the oldest brother, is Ricky, is like the way he is. But Nadia, for me, was like, okay, he just made out a strong woman out of nowhere, and really didn't make sense. And that resonates with other characters. For example, Ivan. I think Ashley has it a little there. It's like Ivan has this part of him that wants to go with his family and everything, but in some part of the novel, Ivan is decided to confront his father and to say, no, I love this guy, and am I like I'm myself, and I don't have to address me as you want, no, towards the father. And it just got lost, and it's just why, because Ivan didn't know that Sam was dead, so it doesn't make sense. And he changed. He totally changed. Like he was robbed of something so dear that he had to change, and he had to be with his father. But it didn't happen for him. It was the same person all along, and he could have go in another part of the novel to Sam, Casper, and say, okay, this is who I am, and I want to be with you. To confront the father. That's the character that was developed in there. So it's for me, it was like trying to come up with characters that react to the circumstances that the novel is giving them, but it really, it doesn't add to the plot. It subtracts to the plot that way, because it will be incoherent at some point, and it happens at the end. It's incoherent totally, absolutely. So, well, for me, that was barely good, or just good enough. There were characters that were very well constructed. For example, I would
Mhm.
say our main character makes sense, but the boyfriend is, for me, the most coherent of all. He does what I expect he's going to do with that personality. Even leaving him and say, "Okay, I will see you, but I won't leave you. I just will go home. I will wait for you." That's something I would expect from someone like him. You know?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, but there are some characters like that, not all of them. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, well, for me, so I think this is, in my opinion, one of the weakest points or items in this book, because for me, I didn't see an actual character development, or I didn't see a transformation arc at
Mhm.
all, because we know the plot twist. So the twins basically swapped places, and when Sam went missing into the forest, it was actually Casper, and then Sam returned impersonating Casper.
Mhm.
So I think the transformation arc for that character should be the most distinctive. So we should be able to see two persons in one character. We are seeing Sam and Casper in one single body, one single character. But in my opinion, I never saw two people in that body.
Mhm.
I always saw Casper, because we are presented at the beginning with Casper's personality, Casper's way of speech. Everything is Casper. But then the plot twist happens, and we know that it's not Casper, it's Sam.
Mhm.
And everything continues exactly the same. So we know that he's been living like this life, impersonating his brother 20 years. So okay, he's used to this. But I think it will have been very beneficial to the story to show us the real personality of Sam, because we
Mhm.
never met Sam at all. It's always Casper, all the way around. So maybe with that transformation, because that was an actual transformation, we
Mhm.
would have enjoyed this further, because what happens at the end? So he continues living as Casper, or he continues living as Sam,
Mhm.
or a new person altogether.
Mhm.
So I think it's important for this type of stories to show the two personalities that live in one single body, but in this case I didn't see them. So for
Mhm.
me, that was not character development, and that was not transformation arc. Funny enough, some of the secondary characters, they did have some transformations, like the father, for example. But we'll discuss about the father at the end, because the believability. So how reliable is it to think what he did was true or not? Is it realistic or not? But we'll discuss about this topic a bit later in another topic. But for me, secondary characters had more development than the action main character, and for me, that was like a letdown.
It's a really good point. Like I never thought about that. How we never really got a taste of what Casper, uh, how Casper would have lived as Sam. I never thought about that until now, and I definitely want to know.
And it's important because the boyfriend, Thomas, it's Thomas the boyfriend, or is something? I think Thomas is
I
the
think
actual husband.
It's an A
I don't
name.
have it in my note.
Andrew.
Andrew. What's
It's
the name of
Let's
the
let's
boy?
call it the boyfriend.
Anthony. Anthony.
Anthony. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anthony.
Like in Candy. Anthony. Okay, so Anthony. So Anthony
Okay.
is always wanting to have a closer boyfriend, a more like lovely boyfriend who kisses him, who hugs them, who hugs him, who tells him his
Mhm.
secrets and everything. And that's Casper from when he's a boy.
Mhm.
And suddenly, and you're right, Mao. Suddenly, Sam Casper says, "Oh, and I was always like the caring one and the most affectionate one, and I had to stop." Okay, you had to stop. Are you going to stop now, or what? Or you were refraining to be affectionate, and now you're just telling us it doesn't make sense.
No.
It's because the author is trying to tell you that he developed a multiple personality disorder when this happened, but it isn't. It really isn't like that. There are
Mhm.
not two personalities. There is just only one that has what the situation needs. It's that. It's not a personality. It's like a reactive character, and that's that. I think.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and Ashley says that. Well, just hello, Ashley. How are you?
Yeah.
They could do it. Hello, Marce.
Hi, Marce.
Oh, uh, hello, Sahid.
So he.
So
Oh,
he, oh, Tim Tam's here too, I think.
yeah.
That you're
He's
here.
with the cat.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick.
Hello, hello. There's
And
Marie.
Maffer, how are you,
Maria
Maffer?
Fernanda. Hello.
Yes, you can call her Maffer.
Can you say that again?
Maffer.
Maffer?
Yeah. Maria Fernanda. Maffer.
Maffer. Got it.
Yeah.
Rodo.
Oh,
Hey.
Rodo.
hello,
El
Rodo.
Rodo.
El Rodo.
Ashley. I love when Ivan was looked at as a police officer who does everything right for his father, kind of harnessing his autonomy, and then he has a secretive side. Yeah, so
Yes.
he had some development himself in that way for sure.
Nadia is like her mom.
Nadia.
It could be, but her mom, I don't know, but her mom didn't taught, teach her to be that way because she was rebelling against the mom.
Hmm.
I know what you're saying. Nadia. It could be like, but the author never told us by context why Nadia is the way she is. She only gets and there says we have to get and make a rescue party, and it's like what happened here? Who is she? Why is she like that? And eventually, it's a plain character for me. Yes, she shouldn't
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it's a strong woman. So character.
As she also says, I saw a character development with the older brother. He was the only one cognizant enough to know what was happening with everyone. He saw behind everyone's masks, and he was underestimated. Yeah, I would agree with that. He was definitely the angriest, though, wasn't he? And so, talking about all the anger in the book, it's like, okay, he's angry, Nadia's angry, the mom's angry, everyone's angry.
I think that the oldest brother is the most intelligent of them all. He really is trying to make things better, but because he sees what is happening below the surface, but he tries to be himself for everyone at the same time. I really did like the character.
Yeah.
And he like shows you his intelligence and he's aware of things just every now and then then he goes with the play, you know? He's not that reactive, for example. I think he always does the same thing he will do. I'm El Rodo.
I'm El Rodo. That's the Rodo. El Rodo.
What does that mean? I'm El Rodo.
So he's Rodolfo, right?
Rodolfo.
So you can call him Rodo.
Rodo.
Da Rodo. El Rodo.
Okay, El Rodo, of course.
It's like El Jefe.
The boss.
Two people
who are like clash. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little external anger, but the mom was the angriest.
Yeah, but the mom had the story of going from one country to the other, of making this mistake with the mafia. I think there was depth in the mother that was trying to be developed, but in Nadia, nothing of that is real. It's like she's like a spoiled child that is only angry and is a powerful woman out of nowhere. Or it's like, what?
Yeah, but you can tell why the mother is the angriest, because she's the one that has interiorized all of this rage, the Asian rage the author was talking about. It's all inside her for many years, and she's frustrated. She cannot do anything about this situation. what happened with the son. So everything is inside her, and she cannot let it out. She cannot explode. She cannot take revenge. She
Mhm.
cannot do anything. So that is why she's the angriest. So she's actually sad,
Yeah.
but angry at the same time.
Frustrated. Yes.
Absolutely. Cool.
So
All right, so let's talk about the pros.
Yeah, the next point is prose style and language mastery. So, when we think about prose and we think about all this, what do we really think about? We think about the rhythm and the imagery and the techniques that the author is using
Mhm.
throughout. And so, I mean, there's definitely points in this book where the author just blew me away with his writing abilities, with how descriptive he was, and actually have a quote from page 56 that really just impressed me when he was talking about the scenery around. Page 56. So he says, the trees take on different shapes in the dark, still and silent, as if stalking prey, invisible, if not for the moonlight, tracing silver along their limbs. Like,
Mhm.
how did he do that? I'll never ever be able to write a sentence like that before. Like, and so that's just one sentence. I have others there, but I could talk for a half hour just on beautiful quotes. So, like, I personally was so impressed with what he came up with. Um, I thought that he was descriptive enough to paint the scene, to put us in there, and it wasn't too much. It didn't take us out. Yeah, so yeah, that's my comment on that. I was so impressed.
Mhm.
for me, it was a nice reading. It was easy to read.
Hmm.
Definitely, you said it so good. It's like seeing a television series. I would make a mini series with this, not a television series or a movie, but a mini series of about 8 to 12 chapters, and that's that.
Hmm.
Um, but I found it mm, good. At my first chapters were like, oh, this guy is very interesting. He's a little poetic, but then eventually it stopped for me. And then when I ended reading the book and tried to rate this part, I some part of me wanted to say it's excellent, but then I remembered um, this is the first book, and I have read so many books before
Hmm.
in my life, and I will have to compare the quality of the prose and the language mastery to those books as well, not only
Hmm.
books that we're reading now, because I don't know what we reading. For example,
Mhm.
Annie First or anything.
Right.
Florence Knapp. Now I'm reading Florence Knapp, and I think she's better than this guy, for example. So
Hmm.
I may right now I rate it what I rated, but I may change my rating
Right.
actually, because for me it's not as good as the language and mastery that, for example, Mircea Cartaescu has, but not at
Mhm.
all. And then I went to Elif Shaka,
Oh, shock, yeah.
and then she's just like this type. She has this type of narrative, but in another level all along.
Yeah.
So no, it cannot be that good. This guy is a good writer, but it's not that writer. No.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
for me, that was the thing. The prose style is good. It's nice. It has this rhetoric that is wonderful to read, but it's
Mhm.
not as sophisticated. The language mastery for me was lacking. There are some words that are there that could be used in another way, or there are better words for the things that he wants to describe in English that can be so much more
Mhm.
deeply thought about. I don't know. So for me, it was not that good. It's just for now. It's just a good but not excellent, but I think it will go down eventually.
Yeah, yeah, good point, good point.
Sorry,
uh,
did really really like his chapter endings, like saying his dad is just a coward, but that just at the ending of the chapter that happens. So
Mhm,
I think
mhm,
for punchlines, he's just wonderful.
mhm,
But well, that's the thing. Thank you.
mhm,
I have a similar opinion as you, Javi, because for me, so the prose was okay. It was not excellent. It was not magnificent.
mhm,
It was not as distinctive as others, but this doesn't mean it's bad written. So it's actually well written because it's fluid. You start reading and you continue, and there is not a moment that where you feel like bored, or maybe it's too descriptive that you should not want to continue. But on the contrary, so it's very fast pace at the beginning, then slow pace in the middle, then after the plot twist is really fast paced.
mhm,
But what I would think about this book is, let's say you have a friend and that friend doesn't read too much or doesn't read at all, or maybe hasn't read a book in 2 years.
mhm,
So if he says, "Okay, can you please recommend a book for me to start my reading and to catch up and to get my habit of reading again?" So I
mhm.
will recommend The Tiger and the Cosmonaut
Right.
because it's easy to understand, it's fluid, the narration is not complicated, it's not dense. So a person who doesn't read too much, maybe, or doesn't know maybe about different styles of narrations, I think it will be a perfect book to start with. So to really get engaged with a book, with a story, because the plot twist is there, it has characters, it has social commentary, so everything is there, and it's not too long also. But as Javi said, we have read so many books recently in the past few years from excellent authors, excellent minds, and really, really good stories that it's impossible not to compare. So, and it's not fair actually. We should compare because we need to make sense of what we're saying about the prose. I can say the prose is excellent, but compared to what? It has to be compared with something. So for me, it's good. It's not excellent as others, like Javi mentioned. Mircea Cartarescu is like the god in
Mhm,
this case, but it's not bad. So I will recommend it if you're just you just want some fluid and light reading experience. It will be great. If you're
mhm,
looking for more in depth, or maybe like a style that really connects with you, and that you can actually say, "Wow, I'm blown away by these phrases." Maybe
mhm.
this will not be the one, but it doesn't mean it's bad.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so glad that we have some differences of opinions because it would be so boring if we disagreed on everything. So yeah, I'm
Hmm.
with you guys. There were some passages that really blew me away. But yeah, I hear your points too. Like especially at the end, like he did lose the beautiful imagery in the last 25%. He wasn't as descriptive with his writing. I guess because he couldn't be. There was so much to
Mm.
conclude. Maybe. Hi, Christina.
Hello, Cristina.
Oh, Christina.
Ashley. The author was very descriptive. Yeah. And so we just touched
Yep.
on all of that. I think it was chapter 21 when he was having sex. So that scene made me uncomfortable.
Oh, for me it wasn't enough. For me it was just at the very
Yeah,
very
it was too
first
light. Yeah.
layer of having one with a boyfriend like that. If you have a boyfriend like that, my dear Ashley, you will go full throttle.
Yeah,
Uh,
because he was like a model, right? An
yeah,
actor.
wonderfully beautiful and tall and like he made exercise. Yes, it's
Hmm.
very interesting. I
Hmm.
think that the language he used in there was very measured. I don't know about you
Mm.
guys. I have read
Mhm.
some straight novels that have so much sauciness, no,
Much
between
more. Yeah.
much more, and they are straight. And in this type of novel, the author has to be very, very careful because he will be stigmatized rapidly.
Mm.
And gay sex is not like that. It was so sweet for me. It was so not.
No, exactly. It was not realistic at all.
It's interesting to know that. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, thank you. I
Tina,
didn't want to sleep. Oh, little Jack, it's your nephew.
he wants to watch his
Yes.
uncle on YouTube. Of course. Why would you put him to bed?
Just imagine Jack when he's 15 years old and he needs to catch up with all of his uncle's live streams. So he will be weeks and weeks and weeks nonstop watching you.
Yeah.
Hope I'm his biggest fan. I hope he's my biggest fan. That would be nice.
Oh, he is, I'm
Stay on
sure.
YouTube forever and ever. So yeah.
Christina says that he does actually. Yes, I would love to be your nephew. If I were Jack, I would be just like having you in an altar forever. Like, oh, my uncle is on YouTube, and my uncle is. It's
Mhm,
so much people, so many people having a great life.
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, up here in Canada, I won't talk about my personal life because we have a lot more to talk about here. But if you guys were here and you guys were with me babysitting, if you guys were with me, at the park with him, he would typically what we do for all like for close friends, we say Uncle Mauricio or Uncle Javi. So when
Oh,
you come
that's nice.
with my strict permission, we're gonna have that experience. Yes. So yeah, it's okay for me to talk about my personal life occasionally because my family are all here.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no secrets.
Open book here. Okay, so segueing into the next topic, dialogue authenticity and character voice. So, sorry, did I give you guys enough a chance to finish your thoughts there? I think I
Yeah,
did.
totally. Please
Yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Dialogue authenticity and character voice. So, like for me, the first thing that comes to my mind is I did think he did a really good job with the dialogue between the children. I really don't like when I'm reading a story and the children are talking, but they're talking as if they're adults and they have vocabulary that's beyond their years, and they're talking as if they're not children. I think he did a really good job with that. Um, Throughout the story, I don't know that I love the dialogue moving forwards. I felt like a lot of it was what's the word I'm looking for? Um, it could have been more succinct. It could have been. It was really drawn out. I felt like the dialogue between the boyfriends. It was a little bit too much, and in other areas, it wasn't enough. So especially between Ricky and Casper. We understand Ricky's an activist. We understand that Ricky can think for himself, but like there was very little to get from point A to point B. I felt like we needed more dialogue between him, between the two of them, and the same with the sister as well. She shows up, she takes charge, she has a strong voice. That's fantastic. I love seeing that, especially with female characters. But we don't really get to hear her voice at all. So there were points where like if I had to rate the book strictly between the two boys talking, 5 stars, and otherwise. Uh, anyway, but we won't talk about my rating yet. But yeah, I didn't love it. What do you guys think?
I think I got my rating about this too high. I will definitely downgrade it. Yes, what you say is totally true. The thing with Nadia is that she is not sharing enough information about her. That's the thing, and there are no dialogues about that. It's only she giving orders or making a stamp or getting angry. But Nadia really seems like a pretty negative woman, and she's really not. She is the one who takes charge. She is getting responsible for things that she shouldn't. I think she's a wonderful character to develop. But yes, there are many parts of the novel that the dialogues are not there, and something that I got missed as totally is that they are Chinese. They come from China, and there is this China rage and this China everything, but we don't see China never in the novel, and that is not possible. Even in Mexico, when with our China immigrants, you will see Chinese culture when you hear them talk. Chinese people, as all Asian or Latin America or anywhere people, have their own traits as cultural traits. No? So Chinese people, for example, they gather themselves with, for example, women gather themselves to go to play mahjong with some other parties. That's some trait that they can have. No, I'm just talking about tropes in Asian characters. So these parents, they don't seem to be from China at all. Even if they want to fit in and they want to be Canadian enough, that's cool. But you will remain Chinese in your home with your family, because Chinese pride is like Latin American pride or whatever other pride you have when you're an immigrant. And it doesn't show, and the dialogues are lacking in there at 100%, I might say. So that's the part I haven't like thought about it until you said this part, my dear John, because yes, that's the missing link for me. There is no cultural reference in the family for this rage. It's just the remembrance that we went out of somewhere running, but where's the Chinese anything in your house?
Right.
No? Yeah.
So for you, it felt like a missed opportunity, is what you're saying.
Totally, absolutely. To contextualize a little more clearly that these people are trying to have a new life and for their children. They say I don't know, maybe every 5 or 4 chapters, this idea comes that we made it because of our children. Okay, but you are Chinese, so what's in there for that? So and character voice goes towards that. There should be
Yeah.
characteristic Chinese voice in some characters.
Yeah, definitely. So I think maybe, yeah, it's a missed opportunity because we have seen so many other Asian authors that they write in English as original language, but they always have references to their own cultures, language, maybe cultural moments in their lives, customs, all of this, it's there. And this author, being second generation Asian Canadian, he missed this opportunity to maybe pay an homage to that legacy, right? Because it's this story that we see in this book is very similar to the story of his parents. They migrated, they sacrificed a lot for him and his siblings. But yeah, it will be like a great way to pay an homage to that sacrifice. So yeah, I don't know why he didn't do it. Even maybe not with dialogue, but maybe with other references about the house, maybe how the furniture is in the house, or maybe how they eat, how they interact inside their own home. So yeah, that is the character voice. So the Chinese character voice is missing completely. Or maybe to have a comparison or a conflict between the native Canadian versus the immigrant Canadians. So maybe there will be an interesting, maybe a clash of language and cultural aspects. But yeah, so it's a low key, the character voice. And about the dialogue, for me it was plain. For me, the dialogue overall was too casual. Sometimes in novels, when you see people talking, you get something from that talk because you're hearing them from outside. It's like you are a ghost and you are in the middle of these two people who are talking, but you are listening to them. And by listening to these people, you don't actually get exactly the words they're saying. You get another, like the substance of the conversation is the one you get. So sometimes they say or don't say something, but you as the spectator, as the audience, you get in between lines, right? In this case, I didn't get any of that because it's too casual. So the way they interact talking is too casual. There is not a in-depth dialogue structure at all, or lines that you remember. Oh, this person said this, and this is so profound. I want to analyze it. It's not the case because it's too casual and maybe it's too short dialogues or something like that. So yeah, it's average dialogue for me.
Cool, cool.
And I have a question for you, John. I didn't catch any um, accent or language quirkiness or a specific tone that was Canadian. In other novels, you can
Mhm.
catch the Texan accent or the Latin American accent in some part of the world, or the Spaniard accent, or something like that.
Right,
Um, but here, because I don't know Canada that well. Uh,
right.
I didn't catch any accent from the Canadian people, and this is a rural community, so it
Hmm.
should have something. And then the Chinese people should be adjusting to that accent, and
Mhm.
that would be one differentiation trait
Right.
towards discrimination that it
Mhm.
happens in the novel. This discrimination that goes
Mhm.
towards violence, but
Mhm.
it didn't happen for me. Everything was Canadian for me, even the Chinese people. But in
Right.
neutral Canadian, I don't know if you catched some accent, if it was there or it didn't exist. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know too much about the regional dialects in this part of BC. It's basically the other side of the world. But yeah, like here in Canada, we definitely have our unique tones and our unique touches. So if Nadia, Ricky, Casper, the parents weren't able to bring that in with their characters, we should have gotten something from Ivan and Anthony and the bullies, even, especially the bullies, probably because they would have been speaking as members of the community. So that's a good point too, Javi. So yeah, I guess we didn't really get that. I will say, like, when Canadians speak, we're so polite. We want you to know that we're nice people, and so I think that we did get that with and Anthony. And so that's a very Canadian thing. We speak as nice, polite people. But yeah, I do hear your point. That's missing as well.
So, John, you told me once that in Newfoundland you have your own dictionary, right? Because you
Hmm.
have your own words.
Hmm.
So maybe British Columbia they have their own dictionary also with slang. So
Mm.
yeah, it will be that's another missed opportunity perhaps to know more about the local language.
I don't think that they do, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would love for someone to correct me if I'm wrong. We're very, very special over here. We have our own huge.
I
Uh,
love Newfoundland. I love Canada because I know a little of Newfoundland and love it so much.
mhm. Yeah,
You're
we
Canada for me, my friend.
we were the last province to join Canada. We are the closest to England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, and so we have so much of that influence. Nova Scotia does too. PEI kind of, especially as an islander. Anyway, I could talk all day long. We need a different live stream actually. Something for Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, and I will talk for hours on that. Um,
Excellent. So, yes, your favorite brother-in-law is turning in is We Got That House
We
After.
got that house
Oh,
after.
yeah!
um, so
I
this is
love that name.
Congratulations.
Mike.
Congratulations.
So there's a bit of an inside joke. Me and Mike text quite a bit, and Mike thinks he's so funny, and sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. So we got that house after is him trying to just be funny because he'll just send me that. He's just we're so happy. I'm so happy that they got this
Yeah.
moving to another house, and he's my favorite brother-in-law. That's true because he's my only brother-in-law.
My cat out
My cat came out hiding. He was adopted. Oh, so fresh cat in the house.
Cool.
Excellent. 2 days ago. Oh, Leo. Hey.
Leonor,
Hello, Leo.
hi
Hey.
Leonor.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hello here. So good that you're here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move out to the themes. Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Themes.
Thematic depth
I
and
will downgrade everything, my friends. I will so nice with the trading this time. No, I will have to rearrange this. This is
And
not.
that's the point, right? To
Yeah,
hear
totally.
opinions, to think twice.
Yeah, I have found so many insights that I was like, they were out there, but I haven't like grasp them. And with you, I
Mm,
know I did a bad job rating this so high. It's
yeah.
too high for me. Yes.
And I'm realizing that we're influencing each other, aren't we? Like we're influencing.
Totally, totally. But
Mm,
it's such a wonderful thing
yeah.
because I think there is information that you have and now that I
Mm,
don't have at all. And when
mm,
you say it, you like materialize something that I
mhm.
read that
Yeah.
I didn't express properly within me. So it's cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's the purpose, right?
Hmm.
To hear opinions, double check your thoughts, and it's perfectly fine to downgrade or even
I will do it.
upgrade something.
Count on it.
Absolutely. You change it many, many times if you want. So I might have to draw my notes actually for this one. So for thematic depth and intellectual meaning. So I definitely had my issues with this stuff. So let me just look at my notes here. So the author did a great job infusing his story with themes of loss, grief, Asian rage, once again. But more than that, he incorporated stronger themes that really invited the reader to look at circumstances that are not felt by the majority, like racial prejudices, social class, immigration, and even themes of survival. So, given the fact that this book was just 300 pages, I felt like he took on all of these themes, and in his quest or in his attempt, I guess, to take on as much as he did, I thought he did a pretty good job. However, um, it's so much to take on. He chose to do it, and I give him a big thumbs up. He told a story, and he told it pretty well. But for me, I think we could have lost a few of these subplots. We could have lost maybe we could have killed Ricky off in the first few pages. Maybe
Mhm,
we
mhm.
could have lost a little bit. Um, well, I don't mean that. I like Ricky, but so yeah, for me, I loved it. There was so much that the author did so well. Um, I think we disagreed last week when we talked about dementia. I thought that the author did a pretty good job highlighting what goes down. We can disagree on that, but like in general, I thought he did a pretty good job touching on so much. But sometimes when there's so many things to touch on, like you can be a jack of all trades, but like an expert in nothing,
Mhm.
I still really like this book. I really did, but for me, it was just a little bit too much overall.
Oh,
All right.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
For me, well, I think this is not a for me. This is not a deep book. It talks about things that I grasp as biopic for most of the time, and then as a means to project or say things that you wouldn't normally do in other spaces, like this activism. There is activism in the in the book that I really well. I'm glad that that's in there. For example, this soft point of view, but very very interesting and real that is about this gay uh, perspective of relationships. I think it's very real what they have. It's some kind of gay relationship that can be made like that.
Mhm.
It's not a caricature or a cartoonish way of thinking about this thing, and it always goes that way. I think it's always like so spicy or so cartoonish or so like don't touch yourself because you're Asian. I don't know, like Japanese people that they don't touch themselves about among partners. They don't do touching, for example.
Mm,
That in here it's pretty real, but there is not depth in the themes that he goes towards, and the intellectually for the Mao said it quite all right. Like if you're looking for a book that challenged your intellect, this is not the one. This is a book that will. This is cozy literature for me. It will be
Mhm.
really the cozy literature tag that they want to put places. It goes in here. This is like it's it will not make you cry, but it's talking about hardships of life, but it will not make you cry because it's not deep deep enough.
Mhm.
Intellectually, it tries to come up with this doppelganger, dissociation of personality, Asian history and racism, but it doesn't address the issues properly, um, with specialty, with I don't know, with research at the very least.
Mhm. Y-
So I think it's an imaginary moment of all these topics. So intellectually speaking, for me, it's in the surface. Um, yes, I've just downgraded whatever what I thought. It's not. It's just barely there. So yes, it will not change your image of some things.
Mhm.
When something challenges you in a novel, it will make you think about the things you thought before and try to
Mhm.
come up with a change of perspective.
Mhm.
You will transform something. This book doesn't get there, for me at least. Yes, I don't know, Mao. What do you think? Oh no, Mao, you're freezing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mao is freezing.
Maybe
I think so. Yes.
if I yeah, he's definitely freezing. If I take him off the platform and put him back on, do you think that would do something?
Yes, it could. It
Yeah,
could work.
I still hear me.
And
Oh,
then so it can recharge. Yes, it's cool. Hello, are you there?
Okay, okay. You still hear me, right?
now we can. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you?
Yep.
but
Okay. Yeah, I
now
just lost you for a second.
Yeah. But now you're back. That's good.
All right. Okay. 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 So, okay. Yeah, I agree with you about the themes. So, in my perception, I think this book, being this short and being this kind of topic, I think
Mhm.
it's too ambitious
mm,
because it wants to touch a lot of things, but it doesn't have enough time or enough space to develop each one of those separately enough.
Mhm.
And the way I see it is, let's take a topic. If you remove this topic from the story completely, if the story continues without changes, this means this topic was not necessary at that point. For
Mhm.
example, let's take the racism, the violence, all the immigrants' brutality, this intolerance against the immigrants. Let's say this is not a Chinese family. Let's say this is a Canadian family living in Canada, and they have the same situation. So two boys, twins, one goes missing. They swap. There's this police who is like having an affair with one of them. So let's take out completely the racism and the immigrant Chinese people. Does
Mhm.
it change the story? It doesn't. So
no,
this means this topic is not relevant to the story.
Mhm.
Let's take the queerness out. Let's say this is a straight couple. Changes something? It doesn't. So this is not a relevant topic. Let's take out I don't know, any other topic that you think about. If you leave it out, and if the story continues and progressing the same, this means it's not a full relevant topic, unless the author is good enough at incorporating this topic into the story in
Mhm.
between, intertwined into the actual plot, that you
Mm.
cannot take this topic away. And
yeah,
that is why, for me, intellectually meaning, I think it's not too much there's not too much intellectual meaning, because you don't get enough meaning of each topic to actually know about that topic. So
yeah.
yeah, for me, that's the thing. So I analyze it that way. So some of these topics might not be too relevant to the story.
Mhm.
Would you say that if you take away the queerness, it will work? It's a question because the murder takes place because of the queerness of the character. And, and, and
So you say because of the intolerance when they are in the hotel?
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, if you take it out, and if it maybe stumbles and you cannot continue exactly the way it is, this
Mhm.
means it's a good point. It's a good topic, and you're making a good choice as an author, incorporating this topic into the characters.
No, but I totally agree. Racism and Chinese rage and everything, it's secondary. It can be taken out, and it's the same book all over. Yes,
Right.
Totally.
I hear you. Yeah, and for me, like the lack of the intellectual meaning, it was pretty disappointing for me. I pushed so hard for this book to be in here.
Oh, but we did something like that for 1 or 2 books, my friend. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely not worried, but you know what I mean. Like, I had a certain expectation, and so it was a little bit disappointed, for sure. You guys, the next component is symbolism and literary devices. Now, we kind of already drew on some of this. We kind of flowed when we're talking about prose stuff. We kind of like entered this component as well. So I think I already said what I had to say, I think, about symbolism and literary devices. I thought he did a pretty good job. There were some certain sentences that I wrote down and highlighted because I wanted to read them again. I can remember even right now, just off the top of my head, there was a scene where I think it was red paint that was spilled on carpet, and it spilled out like blood. I could find it in my notes there somewhere, but he did a really decent job so often, but it wasn't enough. That's all I had to say on that.
For me, I think the symbolism part is the most hurt one. It could be very symbolic. This two in one person could be a symbol of so many things that are in the novel. For example, these ideas against gender expression or sexual affection or whatever is happening there with not only the boys, because Nadia is taken for granted and the mom is taken for granted because they are women, and then they just get hysterical. They are not strong. They are nuts. They are crazy. So I think all those topics could be symbolized better and with more depth. Symbolically speaking, it's lacking so strongly for me. And the literary devices that I found were the most common ones. For example, metaphor, analogy. What other I found? A little cacophony was there when they were trying to make emphasis in some ideas that were repeating themselves along the novel. Something like that. The usage of semiotics and rhetoric figures were for a general audience, I think. Not for, it's like Mao said, Mao has been quite on point for me in some comments. If you want to read again, or you are just starting reading, this can be a very, very nice book because it uses rhetoric or rhetorical figures that are everywhere in literature, and they are used in a very basic way. It's very descriptive, but at the same time it tries to be metaphoric, or it tries to be rhetoric, or use analogy in those or parallelisms, or maybe at the very end he tries to make hyperbole a rhetoric figure that is used. He fails. I think that's some parts. That's a reason why this feels like magic, because that hyperbole is so hugely made that it just ruins everything. But rhetoric figures are there, but it could be better. Yes. So literary device, yes. Effectively, yes, but not with symbolism in depth. So it fails for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I totally agree. Symbolism is there, but it's not easy to catch actually. So it's maybe too subtle on the surface only.
Mhm.
But if you try to make a deeper analysis of the narration, it's actually difficult to find because sometimes it will be inexistent, or
Mm.
maybe it's not deep enough for you to actually grasp it. I think
Right.
at the beginning I was thinking about the symbolism because they say the twins were born on the road, right?
Mm.
And they were born
In the
under
moon.
the sign, yeah, and yeah, and with the moon, with the tiger
Mm.
sign in the sky, something like that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good symbolism because I thought at the beginning that this will mean something after. So maybe when they were all adults or grown-ups, oh, because he was born under the tiger sign, something like that, this will make something or an effect in his decisions, or maybe this will be a reflective thing at the end. But
Mm.
actually it never ended up in nothing. It didn't actually develop into nothing, so maybe that symbolism was a bit missed. And I thought this was also in relation to the Chinese culture because they have all these different years of each animal or creature. Maybe the year of the tiger is going to be special for this character because of this, but it didn't actually ended up in nothing. So
Yeah.
I thought this was maybe a missed opportunity to include Chinese symbolism like that.
Mhm.
Or if it was there, I didn't I didn't catch it because maybe it was not deep enough.
Mm.
Yeah, this kind of things. The narration is in first person, so maybe that is why we never get that because of the character's limited point of view.
Mhm.
Maybe if there was a narrator actually telling us the story, maybe that would be a good literary device to help us understand more about this. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's the way it is. So I agree with you.
Cool.
The tiger thing got a little cheaper towards the
Hmm.
end because it
Yeah.
just was made a costume for like a party, no?
Right.
It was so
Yeah.
powerful at the beginning with the birth of the two boys and everything. Yes,
Yeah, and the cosmonaut also, because the cosmonaut was the opposite. So the boy who loved to watch the space and to imagine other worlds and
Right.
explore. I don't know, something like that. It could be a great symbolism because
Mhm.
actually it's in the title, but it was quite missed.
I
yes.
think so too. Yeah.
But she said that the year of the tiger is also her year of birth. So
Hmm.
it's cool to know. I'm a good tiger in the Chinese calendar. I'm a good, not good that I'm very good, but a good, like a tree, the good from a tree,
Uh-huh.
tiger.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Gets that. Yeah. Um, so the next point is world building. Sorry, world building and setting immersion. So I think we might disagree on this one. Now, for me, I thought this was one of the stronger points of the book. The author creates his own place. Wilhelm is not a real place. It's a made-up community. Um, he did touch on in an interview that the communities that he drew upon, they're all in BC, and they're all cities, or rather communities that he is well familiar with. I thought he did a pretty good job with that. But the thing I liked the most was the creation of the night where they honor the Whistler. I love Halloween so much. I know you guys too do as well. So that was pretty special. I thought that was done well. Um, but that was it. Like I felt like he did a really good job. I would imagine I'll never write a book. It's not going to happen. But
You
I would.
should.
Well, I'll write one
Never
just.
say never.
I'll do an autobiography, and I'll give it just to you guys to read. Um, but like I would imagine, like if I sat down to write a book, the smaller the community, the better. The more contained of a place, the better it will be. The characters have more of a chance to bump into each other. The characters will have more of a chance to interact. So I'm sure he did all of that on purpose. I can't imagine that he didn't. I know his last book takes place on a cruise ship, so there's that.
Yeah.
You know, there you have it. But yes, so I thought that was one of the stronger points. The world building, I thought he did a pretty good job. I liked it, but I didn't love it. It would be 5 out of 5 for me, but I thought that was one of the stronger points of the book.
I just well, for the world building, I in here in Mexico we have rural landscapes and communities all over, and I've been involved in some of them pretty deeply. So for me, it's easy to grasp what happens in a pueblo, the small country or a small place like Wilhelm. And what I was expecting, it was like there is always this many references that are so important. For example, we had a book last year where you have the fisherman and its store, and you have the church and its I don't know. There are places in a place in a small uh, rural place like this, and I was hoping to see more of that. For me, it was the house and the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and almost that. There was a diner where in the trip when the boyfriends are going towards Wilhelm, there's a diner that they where they have a little like scene, and Sam starts like crying all over, being a crying boy that I really didn't like. For me, that place was more important than almost all of the places in Wilhelm.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to see the goods with more development, so they were scary or intricate or really I could get lost in there and nobody will find me for 24 years, no, and nobody will say anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe that there was this town that I would really could map. I couldn't map Wilhelm. If I tried, I couldn't do it. There were like 2 or 3 places, and that's that, and I don't know where they are in the map. So speaking of geography and places, but then this word that Wilhelm is speaking of traits, personality, people, culture, I couldn't grasp it at all as well. So for me, I try and try. I think he did a good job with the family and some other moments. But yes, for me it was not that strong, and I could be immersed as good as I could. When they got lost in the forest, for me it was like, but it's a backyard. Really, I don't think it's the forest. You haven't pictured it like that, no? For me,
Okay.
just.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Javi, but also with John. So, world building. Usually, when you say world building in a novel, usually you think, wow, this author has created a whole mythology, creatures, cosmogony, and there's a whole place created out of nowhere with its own rules. And you believe those rules and you live in that place when you read.
Mm-hmm.
But in the small novels like this one, so you don't have to be that massive. It can be a fictional town, like yeah, a very contained society, a very small town. But even if it's big or great or small, you have to believe the rules and you have to actually imagine yourself living there and how it will look like. For example, Wilhelm is a fictional town. It's very small, so people know each other. I tend to compare with Stephen King's Derry for It. It's also a small town. People know each other, but you know how it is to live in Derry. You know
Right.
how exactly how it feels like, what are how the streets look like, the barrens, the forest. So you know everything, every single piece of this town. You know it because you can imagine yourself in there. So in this case, I think what it lacks is maybe more space because there is not enough space on this novel to develop the settings. So as Javi said, the forest, that's one important one. I think the main setting in this story should be the forest. The characters should be in the forest a lot because that is where this tragedy happened. Everything develops in the forest. The plot twist reveals in the forest. So you need to really be there in that forest. But
Right.
it was not descriptive enough for us to actually place ourselves in there with the characters. The house, the hotel where they were filmed, they're also like very standard places, so they don't stand out as any other houses or hotels.
Hmm.
And the forest, it's the same. So yeah, it's so because the world building is contained, it's not as much descriptive as should have been. Then
Hmm.
you cannot immerse yourself so much. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marcy is citing a book that we read in March in her comment. It was in Istmo de Tehuantepec, this novel, and it's a little rural, pretty non-existent town. This one in that novel, and maybe you don't need to construct so much of the space and the mythos as you're saying. No, I agree, and she doesn't in this novel. Berenice Andrade Medina, that's the name of the author. She says this is a very rural, small place and has only these four places that are
Mm.
important. The other parts of the town are houses. She states at the very beginning and then she elaborates from there. All the novel you are going to see that's true. So
Mhm.
you don't need so much more and you can map the place. And then about the mythos, no? The she what she develops and that I would love to see here is what are the cultural traits of Wilhelm. I didn't see that. I couldn't. It was just there's a policeman, there's a founder, there's a rich man, and there's a Chinese family with
Mhm.
another Chinese family or housewife. It wasn't clear for me what was that. That was a Chinese
Mhm.
wife or a Chinese uh, neighbor with a Chinese family that was there. No, it couldn't. I really couldn't
Mhm.
trust it.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, I agree. You don't have to be um, that full throttle about word building, but you
Right.
need to state clearly what that word is about. You know?
Mm.
And actually, sometimes you don't even need a world building.
Yeah.
We have read last year, Javi, we read some books in the Booker Prize that they center on the characters, what they do. Maybe they travel or maybe they just move around, but you don't actually set them in a fixed place. So you don't
Right.
have to actually have a world building to have
Mm.
a successful novel. But in this particular story, you do need it because everything happens in the forest and the recording they do with the camera is in the house, so you need
Mm.
to understand how the house looks like. In the window they say, oh, he was looking at the window, but it's the other window, not the one for the actual boy. So yeah, you do need to have a world building in this particular case.
Mhm.
N- Not every novel needs it, but in this particular case you need more depth in the world building.
Yeah. I think as well, like he created a world that I don't want to go to. I'm not looking at
But that's
European.
good actually. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
If it makes you feel something, that's good.
yeah. I have a feeling like the people in Wilhelm will charge $600 a night for an Airbnb, so I'm not going there. Um, Actually,
I'm the ox.
the year of the ox. Okay, so does that mean I'm also the year of the ox? Ashley, I wonder. I should know this.
I don't know what it's 85, 84, 85.
85. 85. Don't age me. 85.
Okay, I will check it out. I don't recall, but yeah, I will check it out. It's always an animal and one of the five elements from ancient
Mhm.
Right.
culture.
Yeah.
Okay,
The best,
let's
the
find that
best
out.
one, the super wow emperor like, it's the dragon, the fire dragon. That's the
Mhm.
wow, you're meant to break this.
And what year is that?
I don't know. But if it's fire dragon, you're on it. You're going
Okay, I will look for it.
to.
You do that, and I'll start the next point. Because I would love for us to announce that I'm born that year, but I wouldn't be surprised if Javi you're born that year. That would be I would be
No,
surprised.
no,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm tiger out of made out of good tiger. I'm the good tiger. I used to think I was Thunder Tiger, but no, I'm not. I'm good Tiger. Yes.
Okay,
Well,
maybe.
not Thunder. It's fire. It's fire. Uh, it's fire. Good gold. I think it's Golden Tiger. It's the maximum one. The emperors should be born on tigers. If not, they were not emperors, as far
Ah,
as I know. Yes.
So I just looked it up. So fire dragon occurs every 60 years.
Mm.
So it was 1916, 1976, and
Oh,
next one will be 2036.
okay. I just missed it by little.
A bit.
Yes.
we don't want people to know how old we are, but I guess I already gave it away.
Yeah, everyone can math.
I'm fresh as the morning can.
Absolutely.
So, narrative and perspective. What do you think, John? Well,
So I don't have too much to say on this point. I felt like, of course, Casper is the lead character here. I did get tired of Casper. Is my main point with all of this. And I know last week, Javi, you said you don't like characters that whine, and I personally don't mind when characters whine as long as they have a really good reason to do the whining. And I think for Casper, he got out of Wilhelm and he started a life, and um, obviously he struggled, and that's important for the book. But I didn't feel like he had enough to complain about. I didn't feel like I wanted to hear it either. So I felt like I should have cared more about Casper, and I just didn't. Um, Maybe I didn't like the book, but no, I really did. That's the thing I wanted to say. No, I really did like the book. I did, and so I could relate to Casper as as the man that I am, as a twin, and a few other things. But I just didn't really want to.
Mhm. For me, it was yes. I got tired of him pretty early. I tried to rescue him
Mm-hmm.
over and over. Um, I really would love to see more Anthony in the novel. I love that character. I think it's a very interesting man that that is there, that just stands beside a whining boy that really doesn't do anything. Because he never takes initiative. Even if his dad is out in the woods, he sits and he's so compliant. But it's like I don't know. I don't understand that personality. So yes, and he's the narrator. He's telling us all the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to shake out of me,
Mhm.
shake out of me this guy, and to see the story from other points of view. I tried to do it, but other characters are not enough to do it. So I had to return to Casper. Um, so yes, I agree with you. The point of view could be a third person omniscient narrator, something like that.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was just overall seeing things and telling you different parts of realities that are happening. That way, the reveal and the window scene that doesn't make any sense at all. It just doesn't add any nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Could make sense, but
Mhm.
it doesn't because you only see Casper's point of view. So yes, I agree with you, my friend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and me too. But in this particular case, so because usually when you have a third person, so a narrator, so someone who is telling you the story,
Mm-hmm.
so everything is easier, right? Because you trust this narrator.
Mm-hmm.
There is this trope about the unreliable narrator when you have a first person perspective and this person doesn't know all surroundings, and this person has its own vulnerabilities and weaknesses. So I don't trust this person to tell me this story, but
Mm.
it's what we have. However, in this particular story, it would have been so great because we have twins, we have duality, we have this connection between two persons. It would have been great to have, let's say, the first half told us by Casper, and the
Hmm.
second half told us by Sam. So Sam, what he saw, what he experienced, everything that happened in the forest, things like that. So, or at least one chapter or something like that to tell us the story from the other side. Because even when we reveal everything that, okay, it's Sam, and then they swap places, and now Casper is the one who's buried in the forest, even after that, we have a tendency to doubt. We have a tendency to not trust everything they're telling me because it's one unreliable narrator. And we said
Hmm.
at the beginning, there is no character development in this person, Casper or Sam. So we
Yeah.
don't trust him completely or 100%, or at least I don't. I would have loved to see the other perspective from another character, another personality, and telling us exactly what happened. Even Ivan, because Ivan was there as well when this happened. So
Right.
how about a character, a chapter told us by the point of view of Ivan, because maybe he's perceived as the bad guy, but maybe he was not. Maybe he was thinking something else. So yeah, so having a first person point of view is risky because this leads to these kind of issues.
Hmm.
And but this book had the duality aspect, so it would have been great to have a dual perspective.
Yeah.
I think Endling has a first person perspective, as far as I
Let
recall.
me remember. I
I
think
think so.
so. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Because when she
she
tells about
starts,
the
right?
snail. Hmm.
Yes. And the author takes risks when she stops and then goes to another reality or to another
Mm.
place, and then she returns, and then she's the narrator. She
Right.
goes omniscient and tells something out of the picture and then returns. And
Yes.
Hmm.
those types of risks are what this could be needing. I don't know, but
Hmm.
more risky, more less Casper and more Sam. I don't know. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that you could do it so much more amazingly surprising. This reveal could be a reveal and not a magical uh I don't know, solution to the thriller.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Side note: Maria Reva is coming to my city, and I bought tickets to go see her.
Oh.
Oh, please sign your book.
I know. Well, I feel
Oh,
like I need to get
could you
you
please?
and get them signed and mail them back to you.
Yeah, no, no. Could you please? I will pay you. But could you please? No, yeah, I will pay my book. Could you please buy a book and get it signed for us? It would
Yeah.
be so wonderful.
Yes, it will be fantastic.
Please,
Yeah.
please, please.
You tell me what you want it to say, and I 100%. You know, I would definitely do that.
Thank you so much. I just love that book, and I would love to have Maria Riva
Oh,
sign.
me too.
Fantastic.
Me too. I'm so excited.
Oh, and take a picture with you, please, and
Oh
post it.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I can't wait.
There's a strong woman and an awesome author. Uh,
Yeah,
abs-
I will absolutely read everything else that she writes in
mhm,
the
for
future,
sure,
guaranteed.
for sure.
Uh,
So
peace
there
and tension. Oh, sorry.
no, there are. Ashley has
Comments?
comments. Yes, this is a lot.
Sorry. 1985. That's the year we're born. I'm not aging gracefully. Yes, you are. Anyone named Quicksilver ages gracefully. 100%. You're being hard on yourself. I like how Anthony's nonverbal communication was prevalent when Casper told him he was a twin. He showed a reaction that wasn't performative.
Hmm. That's
Good
right.
observation. We have to trust Ivan's perspective as a child.
Yes, he
And
stays a child forever in the novel, even if he's an adult. No? Mhm.
100%. He has no growth, no development. I
Mhm.
don't think that Sam is bad. He was a child. He intrinsically knew that silence was the only option. At that age, he indirectly learned that from his parents. That's a good point, Ashley.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. I learned that we need to be very aware of what we model to our children.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Example
Absolutely.
leads the parenthood and motherhood of children. That's right.
Hmm. Absolutely. I feel it every day with my nephew. He,
Mm.
he It's everything Uncle John says.
Mini John. It's
He
Mini John.
calls his mom a darling because I call him my darling all the time. It's just a word that we use a lot in Newfoundland. But anyway, pacing and tension management is the next component. So let me see my notes here. Yeah, so I think we've already talked about this a lot last week, so perhaps we don't really need to touch on it too much right now. But the pacing was slow and steady. I love a slow and steady paced book, and then so much happened, and it was a lot, and like magic. Everything kind of click, 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 click together, and then the book was over. So I think that I can speak for both of you guys too if I wanted to. That's all I have to say on that. I felt like he did a pretty decent job, and then just like how I said earlier, this would be a great movie or TV series or miniseries, like you said, Javi, for this reason. It built up and built up and built up, and maybe that's one of the things he wants. Maybe he wants to make a lot of money and to be the next CBC TV series, and it could happen. I would watch it, but that's my only bit there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The pacing is good until it starts going first slower, and then it just goes super rapidly towards the end, and it's confusing. And the pacing, no, it made me dislike the rhythm that I had been reading. It was like, okay, you tricked me with the rhythm that we were reading. I don't know what to think about your ending and your skills for ending a novel of these sorts. That's what I thought. Yes, and tension management. The only part where, well, there were parts where tension management for me was all right. The chapter that Ashley said, and I think it's 21. For me, it was all right, rightly done. It was like just in the soft spot, so it won't be taken out of the novel because it can be censored, and it is, but it isn't that accurate to how things really happen. So I don't know. It was quite all right for a commercial novel that goes to general public, but and the other one is where the dad gets lost the first time, and then when the mother throws the base in anger. Those parts for me were pretty well written. I felt the tension, but it was in a soft spot that was convincing. And then he let go of that skill again. So, well, that's for me. Yes.
Cool.
And we need to consider that this genre is mainly like a thriller. It's like a mystery that we need to resolve. So if we have this kind of genre, there has to be clues. So the author needs to grab our attention and build the tension by leaving some clues. So every couple of chapters, there has to be a clue or a hint about what could happen. So maybe at the end, he will reveal that it's the all opposite. Like the scissors, the father had the scissors at the beginning, so all the time we were thinking, what's it with the scissors? Why he was grabbing the scissors? Or the camera that they were recording the night of the disappearance, that there was a recording, and maybe that tape has the revealing factor of this vanishing of this boy. So all these kind of things, little hints, this builds tension. I think, in my opinion, there were a few, but not enough. Maybe he could put more, like the recording when they were in the hotel that got leaked, and everyone was like pushing them out. That could be something that leads us to other things in the future. But yeah, so tension management, I think it was a bit on the lower side. But when the plot twist happens and the swapping is revealed, I think that chapter it has a good tension. So you know that the characters are in tension in that place, knowing and revealing everything.
Right.
So yeah, that moment was okay, but I will have like to have more hints about what will happen in the future every chapter or two.
Good point. Good point. I think as well, the restaurant scene was written really well as well. The
Mm,
tension at the restaurant when the
yeah.
family decide whether to stay or leave. I was really drawn into that as well.
Yep.
Um, when Anthony walked in on Casper, who was really Sam, kissing Ivan by the lake, it started to get interesting. I couldn't put it down after that. I think maybe we need to write some fan fiction, Ashley.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but it was so close to the south in some parts. In some,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
it was so close. It was like, what am I reading? The south again? Or but I don't know. But this is in Canada. For
That's
me,
true.
I
Yeah.
feel like that. No, it was. It's a pretty neat relationship picture, the one he does. But he's,
Hmm.
I think he's very careful with that part.
Hmm.
Okay,
Let's move to emotional impact.
Emotional impact and reader engagement. Now, for me, I would give a different rating for emotional impact and a different rating, pardon me, for reader engagement. I was pretty engaged. I really was looking forward to reading this book. I was pretty engaged, even though I didn't really care too much for Casper. I still wanted to know what was happening for sure. But for me, I did lack the emotional connection to the book. I felt like I should be relating a whole lot more. I am a part of the queer community. I'm a G in the LGBTQ, and I'm also a twin. I felt like I should relate more, and I did, but the book didn't take me where I thought I was going, and the book didn't take me uh, where I felt like I really needed to go. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. What do you guys think?
no, well, my engagement was as the pacing. It was going pretty fluidly, neatly, okay, and then it just went like struggling, and then it went down with all that craziness at the end. So
Mhm.
my engagement just got lost. The last pages were like, okay, I just want to know what happened. Uh, I can read pretty rapidly, pretty rapidly. And in this case, I did so because my emotional impact was going down. And when I think about the book in an emotional way, well, how do I feel about this book? It would be like mm, I will forget about the book eventually because some other many books will go and take its place. That's the truth. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, similar with me. So engagement means that I want to continue reading over and over because I want to finish it. I want to know the resolution, and I want to know what happened. I want to see what is the ending. So that is engagement. In this case, engagement, as Javi said, was fluctuating. In some chapters, it was great because the pace was good enough. I was interested in what happened, but there are some other chapters, like for me felt like filler chapters, that not too much happened in terms of advancing with the story.
Mhm.
And that is another point. So if there is a chapter you can take away and the plot continues the same, so maybe it's just a filler chapter, and those chapters are the ones in which you are not as engaged as you would like to be.
Mhm.
But yeah, it doesn't mean that it was all like boring or something like that. It was actually engaging in certain ways.
Yeah.
And I always, as you have do too, I always finish a book once I start it, even if it's really bad and it's really frustrating or boring, or I am not getting anything from it. I still finish it because
Mhm.
I always have this positive attitude. Okay, maybe at the end it will be better. Maybe at the end it will be wow. It will reveal something fantastic, and that is another reason I was engaged, because I thought, okay, this has to be leading to somewhere. There has to be a huge reveal. There has
Mhm.
to be somewhere something at the end, and that is why I was engaged as well, because I wanted to finish it no matter what.
Mhm. Cool. I
Mm.
really respect that about you, Mel. I'm the opposite now. In 2026, my New Year's resolution. One of them was, if I'm not enjoying something, I'm out.
Mm,
Oh,
no, I don't do that. Even if it's a movie, something I'm watching, I had to finish it. I don't know. It's like
That's great.
something I have that if I don't finish it, I will always think, oh, I missed something. Maybe I'm missing the greatest and fantastic point of view. Maybe
You're,
not.
just
for me,
hoping.
there have been surprises about around the topic. For example, Sonny, the loneliness of Sonny and Sonny. I just
Hmm.
hated the first part. The first half of it was like, I don't want to read this anymore. I don't want to. No, but then it became one of my most cherished books.
Then you loved it, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to my mom. Now we have the Spanish translation directly from English, of course, and it's just I just love that book, and I just love Kid and the Sai now, and I would be at a loss if I just close the book and forget
Hmm.
about it.
Hmm.
And for Flesh, it was the same thing. It was like, why am I reading this? This is garbage. No, no, I don't want to read this. And I was right. It's garbage, and I shouldn't have finished. But I finished, and now I know why it is so bad.
Uh-huh.
So
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
me, that's good. So I always finish.
Yeah, exactly. So Solenoid has something similar by Mircea Cartarescu. It's a very difficult to read book at the beginning
Mhm.
Yes.
because it's so dense, descriptive. It has, I don't know, it's this kind of touch that you don't actually get everything because
Right.
but it's also very well written. And it's those kind of books that at the middle of the book, it's very easy for you to say, I don't get anything of this. I'm going to just throw it away.
That's
And that's
exactly where
it.
I am right now. I'm on page 532. I think
Uh-huh.
Javi, we were talking about this a week or two ago, and Javi encouraged me to push forward, but
Go for it. Go for it.
I have it like
Yeah.
stayed in the middle of my to be read pile. And I think at this point, I'm going to have to start at the beginning. It's my own fault. I need to start all over
Hmm.
again.
Hmm.
So I
And
might just
it's a long book. That's a long book. But
love the.
yeah, that exactly as Javi said. I don't know. I don't know if it was on purpose that it makes you really struggle until it goes to the final chapters, and the final chapters are fantastic. It's
Yeah.
great. Everything that happens is fantastic.
The
So yeah, so that is why I always push myself to finish what I start in terms of movies or books because I might be surprised.
I think that's why this book is lacking. This one that we're talking about. Uh,
Mhm.
this struggle at the first part of Solenoid states all the profound meanings, the symbolism, the relationships, the characters and their personalities and the places. That's why
Mm,
it's just struggle so much, because he's defining the setting at
Mhm.
the same time that he is on purpose putting some layers of other meanings in there. So it's the struggle, as you say, it's complex. But
mhm.
eventually he lets go of that and just go with the symbolic instances that he has developed. And it's such a feast to go in there and live all those things that are cosmic, and it's just wonderful.
Okay.
Mhm.
But
It
that's the
is.
thing about solenoid. Yes, I agree. Ashley says,
I was hoping for more of of the bad twin. I was saddened to find out that the mother couldn't tell one child from the other. It raised so many questions. Yeah, there was an unbelievability factor there, wasn't there?
Yeah, actually, we have an item related to that going forward.
totally, absolutely.
Was she a
Was
present parent? Was she emotionally numb? Was there the connection between her and her children? She cooked for them, and that was it.
yes.
The
Hmm.
questions that I asked as well. Yeah,
I
it,
think that the writer does not have any experience with twins at all, and he's not a parent. That's another part of it. And then he didn't do proper research. You
mhm,
don't have to be a vampire to write about vampires, but you do your research. And I think he didn't. Sorry. Sorry,
Hmm.
my dear Eddie Budeltan, if you're seeing this and hearing me, I'm sorry, but this is a prize that we're doing here.
we have to split hairs here. We have
Yes,
to,
we have to be very objective, my friend.
yeah.
That's
But
the
we love
point.
you. We still love you. Just remember that.
Mhm. He knows.
Completely. Okay. Thank you.
Patrick. Oh, thank you so much for being with us, Patrick.
Patrick, if you're still there, do you have any final thoughts on the book? Maybe you're already gone. Um, but anyway, Patrick did read the book and he enjoyed it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And Ashley was talking about the twin
Atomic
bond.
bond.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
definitely
There
could have.
is not enough.
There's not enough there with the twin bond,
Mhm.
100%. If I'm, yeah, maybe that's the book I'm going to write because I can draw my own experiences and
Yeah.
do a good job with that.
So just one question. We are number 12 and we have 20, right?
Yeah,
So
we can go more rapidly if you want.
Right.
yeah, let's rush it up a bit.
Yeah, when it comes to originality and creative distinctiveness, yeah, I mean, so many stories have already been told before. I felt like a lot of authors are touching on these themes right now, and so there's not a lot of originality when it comes to these themes. I appreciate that they're stories that are absolutely worth being told. The most original part of this is the boys, the twins, the mystery element. But there's nothing original about a story of dementia. There's nothing too original about a sex tape being
Published. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. So for me, there was a lot lacking, and my rating of this was reflected that. What do you guys think?
Same as you. And originality, I think it's my worst rating. I think this has been read all over again with different perspectives and somehow better achievement. Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Me too. It's not original. This trope about twins swapping or
Mhm.
bad twin, good twin. So it's been told so many times. It could have been original in if other aspects were drawn into the story, but in
Mhm.
this case, it's not original and it's not distinctive. Also, in terms of creativity, there is nothing new that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree. That's too bad. Number 13 is relationship dynamics and character interaction. Um, okay. So, yeah, I've already touched on this. There were so many factors at play, there were so many characters. I felt like every character had their place. I felt like the dynamics and the interactions could have been, we could have been given more. I definitely wanted more depth and more development. Especially at the end. So with Sam, we got nothing, and I wanted so much more. And I'm thinking like he had like chapter 1.5, 2.5, so act whatever the last chapter was. I think it was chapter 4, 4.5 could have been Sam,
Mm.
and oh, I really, really, really want that now. So I gotta write the author and find out where that is and write it. And can I have it? what, what
Good
do you?
idea. Yeah. Like in between chapters, and you can hear Sam talking.
Yeah,
Mm,
Be one.
exactly.
And maybe it's the Sam that is not Sam. Maybe it's the Sam that lives in Casper.
right.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
would be wonderful. That would be original, for example. But yes, I think so. I do agree with you, my friend. No character interaction, and the interaction I think is the worst. It's just cartoonish interaction from a TV series. It's like seeing All My Children, or not All My Children. It's not that deep. That deep. It's like um, The Simpsons.
Mhm.
It's like The Simpsons. It's that type of interaction, a cartoonish one. So
Mhm.
yes,
Hmm.
it's lacking a lot of it. And the relationship dynamics, I would love to have, I would love to see or to read uh, this bond between Sam and Ivan when they were kids,
Right.
because
More.
and then when with Casper as well, because they only tell it's a strong bond. It's a stronger than with Anthony. Anthony gets a little jealous because of it, but we don't know anything besides that they just made it out in the pool or whatever, in the lake. I don't know where they did it. So it's like okay, and at the hotel with the cameras. No,
Mhm.
so,
Hmm.
yes, I agree.
Cool.
And for me, I think the title itself tells us everything. The Tiger and the Cosmonaut. It's two characters. So what we will expect is to have a dynamic between those two characters at least, because
Yeah.
they are the main ones. Even if it's only one person with two personalities, one is the tiger, one is the cosmonaut, it
Mhm.
has to be a distinctive relationship because it's not the same person. It's two characters in one,
Yeah.
or at least two characters as they were kids, relationship between them, because we never saw an actual interaction between the two boys, or not enough, so to make a connection with them and to really say, okay, this is Sam. It's very distinctive from Casper, because
Mhm.
they are not written that way. So for me, there was not a dynamics between the two main characters, even if they are in the title. That was the most important thing. Mm, so it's not enough it developed in that way, so that was actually sad.
Yeah. 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 Um, well said. Ending satisfaction and denouement. Did I say that correctly? Denouement.
Inhuman. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that's a brand new word for me. If it's a brand new word for me, I'm sure it's a brand new word for a few other people. How do I define? So that's the conclusion, right? Sorry, I have notes here on it, and I did know it earlier when I was rating it. But for me, of course, we already said it all. We wanted more in the ending. Yeah, I think I bet that to death. So I was pretty critical in my rating on this component. I wanted so much more.
Yeah, I think it's about how well was it managed. Whatever was happening, how you were constructing it.
Hmm.
Did you build it properly enough to finish in an interesting way? So it all made sense, even if it's a flip of reality or whatever. So one of those things that we don't want at least this is part of what I rate as a judge in other spaces. We don't want magical answers.
Hmm.
That's a denouement that is failed. You didn't construct enough towards the final, the ending, so it just crashes, and you have to be magical about it to for it to make sense.
Hmm.
So in this case, I think it's what we've been talking about. For me, the satisfaction was totally off. It was not Anthony, not at all. Anthony less. And yes, because it was the construction, and I have to make this space for believing that there is an ulterior motive or or perspective that the author has with his novel, because it's so strange that it happens, that maybe there's another intention in it on it. Maybe
Hmm.
it's magical because something that he's trying to say that he cannot say out loud, but we
Hmm.
had to ask him, and nobody has asked him that. Everybody falls for the magical ending, and they
Mm.
say, "Great." I don't know why they say this. Maybe they want to be nice with him, but I wouldn't. I would say, "Why is this magical?" You have to have an intention, or it's a failed ending. That's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
So for me, the satisfaction of the ending was low as well. I was not satisfied actually with the ending, but I was not satisfied not only with the ending, but before that. When the plot twist happens, and okay, we know about the twins and the swapping, I was not satisfied, but not because of the swapping, but because of the involvement of the father. Because we know now that the father had to bury his own son in the forest. And for me, that is so hard to believe
Yeah.
that the father did that. So even the motives were because he was being like threatened to be kicked out of the country. I don't know, something like that. The papers, the immigrant papers. I don't think that's a strong motive enough to go
Hmm.
and bury your own kid in the forest. and
Right.
make it look like, okay, it vanished forever. I don't
Mhm.
think that's believable. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
discussion.
So yeah, no, even the worst of the fathers, but he's portrayed not as a bad father. He's not portrayed as a person who doesn't care about his family. He's
Mhm.
portrayed as a good father who did all this trip to Canada to have a better future for their kids. So why will he go and bury his own son in the forest and make it look like he vanished out
Mm.
of not being kicked out of the country? So I don't know. For me, it
Right.
was not realistic. So from there going onwards, I was not satisfied with the ending,
Right.
and because of what Javi says as well about the pacing and the magical finale. So yeah, not a good ending for me.
Mhm. Cool. That's a really good points there. That helps me think better about it too. Narrative voice, consistency, and also tone. So for me, there were some elements in this book where he did a pretty good job. When let me think of an example. At the very beginning, when they're on the boat and they're traveling, uh, it's a dreary scene. It's not perfect weather. He's very melancholy. He's sad. He's down. He's out, and the boat setting was perfect for that. And then where there's theme, or when the story shifts to what's another good example? The night when they're honoring the Whistler. It's all very exciting, and so he did a pretty good job with that. But overall, when we're thinking about everything as a whole, yeah, it just left a lot to be desired. Um, yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that.
Hmm.
For me, the tone was always the same. I wanted it to be more.
Okay.
Um, it's a casual tone. It tries to be entertaining, for sure. I think that's one of the goals of the book, to be entertaining, and it manages to go there. But when hardships arrive and hot topics arrive, like for example, being taped or recorded at hotel having sex, and then that changes your life for sure because it's published. Oh, for me, there was the same tone always,
Mm.
always. No, the hardships of the forest thing, when the father goes and starts like touching the soil where his boy is, starts crying. It's like, what happened? I didn't grasp what was happening until he said, "Your brother," or I don't know who said it, who says what to who, but it's like the boy is underneath this. So it was like, what?
Hmm.
That's the
Mhm.
tomb of your boy. It's just the same tone all over. So it was for me. I wanted more, and the narrative voice always Casper, always Casper.
Mhm.
So yes, it's tiresome, and Casper is a one note character always, even at the end. No, no.
Hmm. And exactly that's the point. So Casper is one tone character where he should be a tune voice or two tone character. He should be definitely, and that's the weakest link in this book. That the main character has to be two personalities or two distinctive persons, but he's always the same tone. So yeah, I agree on that. So definitely miss point in there.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. And the next one is reader immersion and presence. So yeah, so once again, I said a lot of this already. I was pretty immersed. I was brought in, especially in the beginning. I was really, really happy with how it all started out. And I really liked the interactions with the children. I felt like, at least in the first chapter where the children are brought into the story, I got to know the children pretty well. I was brought in there too. And then after that, so of course, not so much. I was taken out quite a bit for all the reasons I already mentioned. Um, what do you guys think?
Same here. I was immersed. I was. I say I think that it was to you, Mao, that the author said. good, have a good, or it was you, John, I don't remember, have a good time in Wilhelm, in a little snippet
Yeah,
on Instagram. No,
he just yeah.
I tried to be in Wilhelm, and I think I managed, but
Mhm.
it was so, I was so alone, and it was so dark, and there were so few places in Wilhelm. So I was mainly I was at the house and in some street that I didn't recognize so
Mhm.
so much. I don't know. It was not that like with fog. I always was with fog in the ambience. It was like a
Mhm.
foggy
Mhm.
space, Wilhelm, for me. So I couldn't see at the distance, never. But I was there. I always try to be present, and the novel gets it. That's why I think it's entertaining and it's fluid. But then my immersion was not the one that I wanted to have. So that's it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was also present all the time. I was present. I was engaged. I was present. I was connected with what was happening. Sometimes it was like, okay, this is realistic. Sometimes this doesn't make too much sense. But anyway, I was connected. I was present, but I
Mhm.
was not immersed all the time. So in some scenes, I wanted to be more immersed, like the one in the forest, like the one with the camera in the house. But
Mhm.
besides that, I don't think I was immersed. I was just waiting, reading and waiting to be immersed again. Then I was, and then I got out, then again reading and waiting to be immersed again. So it
Mhm.
was fluctuating for me about the immersion, but presence, it was all the time.
Mhm. Cool. What about believability within established logic? Now, for me, this is where I rated my this at the lowest. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to believe in everything, but like even the point you just touched on with the father at the end, clawing at the soil, and there's so many factors that just weren't believable. Um, but I did believe that a place like Wilhelm could exist, where a place like Wilhelm could exist in Canada. Unfortunately, especially 20 years ago, a place like Wilhelm could exist where there is racism and prejudice. Unfortunately, and so to that regard, I give a big thumbs up to the author and what he accomplished there. But all the dramatic twists, no. I think Mike Donnelly deserved to be punched in the face, and I'm really glad that happened. But there's so many parts where it's just like, I was engaged, I liked it, but then there was a couple eye rolls for me. I didn't want to do it, but I did.
For me, it was not believable. The main thing about what happened with the boys, no, it was not believable at all. I picture another reality where the father gets to see his dead son and carries him towards the town and asks for justice, even if it, whatever the cost, the price, because they flew because of money, and they stayed because in Canada because of their children. So if you
Mm,
lose children, it's more grave than losing the money. So you wouldn't mind going
mhm.
to another place or whatever. So yes, for me, the believability, it was not believability.
You got it.
Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo. Yes, it was not there
Mhm.
most of the time. And the established logic was, I think this was trying to have some sort of magical something all over the place, but didn't quite grasp how to do it.
Mhm.
Right.
But you shouldn't do magical realism or whatever. No, uh, it's not your friend. No.
Mhm.
So no, established logic failed for me.
Mhm.
In my opinion, I think the author tried to get a logic because if you follow this, um, so the argument plot line, it actually has logic. So if you go the characters go from one point to the next, and then to the next, and then to the next, there's actually a logic in there. So it's not like there's time travel or another dimension, things like that. It's actually logically happening, but it fails in the believability, because no, I there's so many things that I cannot believe happened, even
Mhm.
within the town's logic, because the town's logic has its own rules.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's intolerance, there's violence, the police is corrupt, immigrants have a hard time. That's the logic. But you cannot have things like the father burying their son
Mhm.
because of that logic. I don't think that's believable. So it goes against the rules, actually.
Mhm.
So let's say it's good logic, but it's not believable at all.
Mhm.
Yep, absolutely. The ending, I was immersed.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let me see. Genre appropriateness and convention mastery. Excuse me. Yeah, so I think that he was the right author to tell this story. Um, Let me just bring up my notes here on this one. Genre appropriateness. So yeah, I felt like he was the right author to tell this specific story, which added to my experience. Also, at its foundation, this novel is a mystery novel with family drama and interpersonal conflicts. It does jump around a little too much from the mystery to the family drama and then to the interpersonal. But the author really did try his best to do that with some ease. For me, there was a little bit too much jumping around, but overall, for genre appropriateness, as it would apply to that, um, I thought he did a pretty good job.
For me, it was a mixture of genres, like a hybrid genre novel.
Hmm.
It starts like contemporary fiction with LGBTQ topics, and then it shifts to a thriller that it unfolds like in the third part of the book to some sort of ending, and eventually it's like a metaphor for life and for cultural immigrants or whatever things are happening there with people. It's a cultural novel at the end. I think
Hmm.
it's an activism novel that some part of it has it. So, um, well, I think in this hybrid mixture, um, well, for me, the LGBTQ part was the most interesting one. Mm,
Mhm.
I haven't read so much that uh, shows men's relationships like this one that we saw, that it's not toxic, that
Hmm.
it's well founded, that is because of love and not neediness. Yeah. So for me, it was interesting. In speaking about LGBTQ genre or approach, and the convention mastery, I would say no, for me it failed. Not the thriller. The thriller wasn't good enough. It wasn't resolved in an interesting way, and the metaphor is just so exhausting to get there, and
Hmm.
so like intricate to grasp that I cannot even be sure this is a metaphor. So for this Asian rage, Chinese rage. So no, I don't. For me, it's just barely there. Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm. And for me, as I said before, I think this novel is too ambitious
Mm,
in trying to convey so many genres, bloodlines, and maybe even subgenres, because we can even touch, is this historical fiction? Maybe
Hmm.
it is because of the immigrants and the location in Canada, but it's on the surface only. LGBTQ is also on the surface. Thriller, I think it's where it's mostly developed, because this is essentially a mystery, a thriller that we have to resolve,
Hmm.
but it lacks some things about involvements, let's say detectives, policemen, or even a neighbor that wants to dig out. There's always a character who tries to get more into the story and gives us all the clues. In this case, this story develops like with a very limited set of characters, and maybe that is why there is no range of points of view, and that is why there is not an action convention to these genres. So
Mm,
even if it's too ambitious, it doesn't fit to any of these genres 100% as you will expect. So yeah, so it touches on the surfaces. It's good to start with. It's good because it's entertaining and fluid, but not too much in depth. So if that is what you're looking for, then this will be a bit disappointment.
mhm. Yeah. I would have to agree. So the next one is literary authenticity and cultural sensitivity. Um, so for me, I thought the author did his research. Well, he drew on his own experiences, didn't he? So he didn't have to do
Mhm.
too much research. And so I thought he was the right author once again to tell this story. Um, I also really appreciate that the queer experience in this story was just that. It was a part of the story. It wasn't. Um, what am I trying to say? So often when there's a queer voice, that becomes the only story. It's the only storyline. So this was just an element of the story. He was a gay man, and that's just how it was. It didn't need to be explained. It didn't need to be picked and prodded at. And so I really love that. And yeah, so I thought that he was the right author to do that, and also the right author to bring in his own experiences. But now that we're talking about it, you guys helped me think that that wasn't really developed. Being an Asian Canadian and bringing in that culture, it would have been so cool to see more of that. Like what food was being put on the table. I know that they discussed that, but that could have been touched on just a little bit more.
Mhm.
What were the parents wearing? There's so many cultural moments and influences that could have been brought in there, but he chose to leave that out, and I don't know why. And I don't. Yeah, that's it.
Mm, yes, I think so. Yes, the literature authenticity, I think it goes with originality as well. How much of this novel have we seen
Mm-hmm.
before, and then how much of this novel is really resonating authentically from the author.
Mhm.
No?
Mhm.
So, for what I've known about the author in this research that we've done and the approaches that I have been making with him, I think this is pretty authentic. I think he is Casper um, in so many ways, and that's why he chose that character to be the narrator, because it's the most close character he had, the closer character he had to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Anthony is the opposite. I think that relationship just told me so much about the author,
Mm-hmm.
um, from the interviews and the things that I've seen aside. So authentically, yes, I think it has this authenticity. I think Casper has some doubts about life and relationships that the author has. I could grasp those little bits of information along the novel, and I liked it. I think I got to know some parts of the author because of his novel,
Mm-hmm.
but then I didn't grasp any cultural anything. Not Canadian, not Chinese, not anything.
Mm-hmm.
So his sensitivity towards culture it's just off. I don't know if it's the editor's choice or if it's his choice, but I saw a novel that is evergreen for any public. Because it touches the LGBTQ topics, and then it's a thriller with the murder of a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why they chose to leave the cultural sensitivity off, because it's too much to not to be censored right now.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's only my suspicion. So yes, that was totally 0% cultural sensitivity of. I didn't know if the vase that the mother throws is a Chinese vase or is a what vase. I didn't know it. It
Yeah,
was like a Ming Dynasty thing or
Mm-hmm.
what? or not? Huh?
Yeah,
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 I was going to say that. Imagine if it was a Ming Dynasty base. That would have been something.
I know. Catherine could have taken that to the Antique Roadshow, and it could have been a whole thing.
Yeah, right.
Missed
So
opportunity.
in my case, when we discuss about originality and authenticity, it doesn't mean that the book has to be fresh completely, that it has to tell us
Mm,
something that we have never heard before, because that's not the case. We will always have references from the past. So even if a novel is super authentic and original 100%, there is going to be always references to something that's read in the past. So we are not saying that this novel has to be fresh, new, and original 100%. It
mhm,
can tell us something we have seen before, for sure, but it
mhm.
has to tell us in a different way, or maybe in a way that maybe surprises us, and something that is unexpected. Otherwise, you will just go to the pile of the standard books.
Yeah.
So that is the case of this book. But about sensitivity, about the cultural sensitivity, Mm, it touches this on the surface, as we discussed, because of course there's the immigrant, the Chinese, intolerance against them. But as we said before, if we leave this thing out, the story progresses exactly the same. So even if there was an effort by the effort to put these topics and to give us, as readers, to make us sensitive
Mhm,
against these things, because we are. If I imagine the father being beaten, but because he's Chinese, or they are kicked out of the restaurant because they're Chinese,
mhm.
or the police is just harassing them because they're Chinese. So yeah, it makes me feel sensitive about that topic.
Yeah,
I feel connected to that. I feel sorry about that. So that's a sensitiveness I get from the author, but unfortunately, it's not enough. So for me, it was not enough to make me feel really connected to these sensitive aspects. But I do value the effort that the author made to include them in his story.
for sure, for sure.
But then again, if you take away the Chinese thing, the book is the same.
Exactly. So he made an effort to include it, but it was not enough.
Yeah.
Right. Now this ties into the last point: cohesive thematic resonance and narrative unity. I don't know if I have anything else to add. I think I've already uh,
Mhm.
said it all. Um, this book could have been so much more. It was pretty good. We liked it. I liked it. It could have been so much more. It's just the last 75 pages that needed more development. And damn, I still want it. I might write the last chapter and read it out to you guys for next week.
Yeah, it's a good exercise,
Yeah,
actually.
you should.
Yeah. Specifically for Sam. But that's it.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's all I have to say on that.
This for me, well, this sums up the other 19 topics. No, this is like the wrap up topic for the evaluation. And I was thinking all these all these weeks. I know because in the other projects it could have happened, and maybe this time it will happen. I don't know that the
Mhm.
author is going to be present when I say these things. Should I care to sweeten it up? Should I be critical enough as I am with my, for example, my students or my public in my
Mhm.
channel or towards my family when I'm objectively criticizing, like in critic, not just critically saying something, but just
Mhm.
analyzing something and objectively saying something about it from my perspective and knowledge. And I arrived to the conclusion that yes, I shouldn't care because uh, a book can take 20 years on the making, but that is not enough argument to sweeten it up, to say, oh, because of that huge effort that you made, my dear writer, you deserve that I become sweet
Mhm.
or more fluffy in my critic. Because if not, this is not a prize. This is just a perspective with a little nudge to don't think ill of me. No, so that's me.
Mhm.
So in this final part, it was like, well, the sum of it all, how good is for me to reread this, to say to my family and my friends or my channel subscribers, go and have this book in your library and invest some money and effort in this work of art.
Mhm.
And that's mainly what I'm thinking about when saying these things. So for me, overall, it was lacking so much because it should have been maybe the double the pages that it was. And my main example for me is the loneliness of Sonia and Sonny's almost 800 pages, something like that.
Mhm.
Because you cannot have all these narratives and all these characters and all these happening of things in just 300 pages. It's just, yes, that's the one. It's it's so interesting to read it, but it's tiresome. It really challenges you because there are so many things happening in a very casual way.
Mhm.
Book is not like Solenoid that has this development in layers. And no, this is a very straightforward book, but it's
Mhm.
a very effective one towards all of these things that we've said. So I think, yes, this could have been a broader book, a bold book, not a little one. Maybe there was caution from the writer or caution from the editors.
Mhm.
Um, but well, that's me. I really like his approach to literature. To literature, I will definitely read something else from Eddie Budel-Tan. I
Mhm.
Mhm.
liked a lot his gay characters, and that's something I don't say. And you know me, I don't know. I don't like gay characters because they act like stereotypes, and in here is just the opposite for me. So, but this it's like an almost uh, sufficient experience overall. This cohesive thematic resonance and the narrative unity is almost gone with all
Mm.
that we've said. Well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
thank you.
I think one more thing to say is about the rereading factor.
Mm,
So, usually, when you are really connected to a book and you really want to explore more, you'd have a tendency to read it more than once. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to be immediately after, it can be years after, let's say 10 years after. You say, oh, I have this book, I read it, I liked it, I want to revisit it again because maybe I am more mature and I want to see it with a different eye, or maybe I will try to get something out of it. For
Mhm.
me, it happens with some books, not so many, but I have read some books more than 5 times, for example. And
Mm.
every time you get something new,
Mhm.
or it doesn't have to be something is completely new, but the reading experience, it's different. So in this case, even though this book has a lot to offer, it had a good potential to become something magnificent with very good ideas. I
Mhm.
think, as Javi said, it remains short. It's condensed. It's limited. It's limited on its own. We don't know if maybe this was intentional by the author, or we don't know that maybe the author had the ideas, but he didn't have the development to make them happen.
Mhm.
But anyway, this is a good starting point to read.
Salud.
Bless. It is a good starting point to, let's say, to start to get out of a reading slump, for example.
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
if I am reading so many dense and difficult books, let's go ahead and read this one because it's very light. You will enjoy it for sure. It will give you something to think about. You don't have to analyze it. This is a
Mhm.
book that you don't have to overthink. You don't have to spend hours and hours trying to get something out of it because it's just for entertainment purpose, for having a good time reading, learning something about Canada and Chinese maybe,
Mhm.
and yeah, just have a fun time because you can have a fun time reading this book. it's for those situations, but don't look for it if you want to maybe get immersed into something very intellectual or in-depth analysis. It's just to have fun. It's just as you said, a cozy book, a
Mhm.
feel-good book, maybe a light book for the beach, for the bus,
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, it has resonance, cohesive thematic resonance. Yes, it has unity, not so much, but it doesn't make it a bad book. It's just a standard book to read.
Mhm.
I will add that just to say that I think it's good literature. Well,
Mhm.
where I think flesh is bad literature,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
that will be for me the main thing to say about it. It's
Mhm.
good literature. It's a good book. It has all these characteristics, but it's good literature. It should be read and read all over the place.
Yeah. I have to agree. So I think we launched this whole series off pretty well. It really felt like I was at the same table with my two friends tonight, and that is really special for me.
Mm.
Thank you guys so much. Like for me, I'm waiting for the mini series now. I'll let you know when I'm launching in Canada, and I will look forward to that. I'll look forward to whatever else he writes, and I just want to take a moment to say what's next, if that's okay with you guys.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So what's next? I'm going to put it up on the screen here. So uh,
Oh,
yeah. So we've been waiting for this book for quite some time. We've been talking about it for about a year or so. We already have our copies.
I have. I go fetch mine.
yeah.
Perfect. Actually, mine's upstairs. If my production assistant is listening right now, can you bring that down? Uh, now we can test to see if he's actually listening. So next week, on Monday, we'll be starting off a conversation about The Names by Florence Knapp. We've been waiting to read this for quite some time. I'm so excited. I know a few of you have already read the story. A few of you have already read the book, and so I'm so impressed. I know three people in our group have already they've read the whole thing in its entirety. So, what we can look forward to next week, we'll be discussing this book over 2 weeks, Monday coming, and then the following Monday. What you can look forward to Monday coming is our general thoughts, our overall feelings about the book. The premise of the book, we'll be talking about its characters, the general plot and general theme, but we won't be spoiling anything next week. So if you haven't read the book, what a good production assistant I have.
So
Eh,
he
no.
wow.
And he didn't come on camera with as a good production assistant shouldn't.
Cool.
Um, so that's what I wanted to say about this. And so if you're joining from St. John's or anywhere close by to St. John's, this is also available now in paperback. So it just got a whole lot cheaper. It's on sale right now at Chapters on Kenmount Road for $20. And
Cool.
yeah, that's pretty good. And it's not available at the library right now, but I think that's because someone in our group has it taken out. uh, so this book is accessible, and we're really looking forward to it. I think this book will also generate a lot of opinions. I was so excited when I first came across this book. I read the first 3 pages to Mao, and I never do that. That's not something that we do for each other. I don't read books to my friends.
You
But
should more often.
what's that?
Yeah.
You should do it more often.
I
I would
should.
love to hear you read it to me. Yeah.
Okay, well, starting tomorrow, I will. Um, we'll go live every night, and I'll read you some stories. But that's how much I like the book. I thought it's such a strong open. So I won't say anything. I've only read the first few pages. I didn't actually go on from then. But that was almost a year ago, I think, Mel, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
it
so,
was in December, I think,
okay, yeah,
by
yeah.
Christmas.
So I've been waiting since Christmas time to read this book.
Oh. And
And we Mhm.
So, it's that it's on Spanish as well. If somebody here wants to read in Spanish, you can, because it's translated now by Salamandra from Spain. I've checked the translation a little bit, and it's a nice translation, because in here, for example, you have the word bear, and
Mhm.
it could be translated to oso in Spanish, but they
Mhm.
chose to leave it like bear, so it's interesting.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
If
okay.
you want it in
Okay.
Spanish, it's available as well.
And we need to mention that, as usual, and going forward, we will have this conversation in two sessions. So next Monday, we'll discuss it without spoilers. And the expectation is to maybe have read at least half of the book.
Mhm.
So we'll discuss about who is Floating Snap, about the premise, characters and themes as usual, but we will not spoil it. We will not say anything about the plot twists.
Mhm.
But the next one, so this means in 2 weeks, we'll have a discussion similar to the one we had today. So basically, we will be discussing about this with full spoilers, with the 20 criteria we just saw, and we'll
Mhm.
basically go one by one and give our opinion about the book. So by then, it's great if you have read the book already. So you have 2 weeks to read the names.
Perfect.
Smile for the camera, guys. One, two, three. Nice.
Good.
Okay, so good. So we can wrap it up for today. It's almost 3 hours. I think it's always going to be like this. So please do your course. Go and make dinner while listening at us, or go to the reruns and listen to, I don't know, in 3 or 4 sessions. I don't know, but
Mhm.
2 hours is not doable. I think.
No, this second session, yeah, it will take 3 hours.
Yeah,
Maybe the first session will take two, but the second definitely will be longer.
totally.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. I agree. Cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. That was a great discussion. That was great. Time with my
Mhm.
friends. I appreciate you both so much. And for everyone here, Ashley, Patrick, Christina, everyone who showed up tonight, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please continue to show up. And we're so happy that you're here.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you
much.
so much, everyone in the chat, everyone who was just listening to us. Thank you, both of you, because this is the purpose of reading a book together. That we share our opinions. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes we disagree, but
Mhm.
that's the whole point. It makes you think something that you missed, or gives you another perspective of how to read the same book. Because for
Mhm.
us, everyone has its own reading experience, and this enriches the overall activity. So thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're
And
saving the conversation for the live stream. There's no untucked episode happening afterwards or in between episodes. Everything is live as it as it should be.
we,
yeah.
we should do Untalk actually.
You know, in the, when the
I'm
pin
in my aunties right now. If we do that, it will be rated triple X. I don't know. No.
when the pins come off.
Ah,
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 yeah.
so, you're so nice, my friend. You're so cute always.
Always.
Really, really. Yes, do. Please, I was going to say that. Please, if you have read the book and didn't quite get in here in time, or you didn't or couldn't put anything in the comments in the live session, put
Hmm.
them in the comment section in the rerun, in the recording. It's going to be wonderful to read your review or your perspective of the book, and this is quite like a book club. So it's going to
Mhm.
be wonderful to read your appreciations, and we can reply to those comments as well. So please do so.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Right.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm thrilled as well, and this is one of the highlights of my week and my life for sure. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. I love you so much.
I love you too. Thank you so much,
Thank you
guys.
so much. Looking forward to the next session.
Yeah.
It was good.
Have a nice night. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Good night.
Goodbye, goodbye.